we open on a dimly green-lit laboratory. A gaunt man is focused on something just out of the camera's focus on the bench in front of him, sometimes turning half his attention to the computer beside him. A gangly man enters the lab from the staircase in the back. The man's hand is on his hip and a smile is plastered on his face. "Bad news, Zebulon. Rollers built a casino in town, and I'm guessing he didn't buy the property for the scenery." "What?" A somewhat burly woman tucked into the side of the room perks up from her book. "He's on to us already? Zebulon, how's the research coming?" "I may have good news, Priscilla." Zebulon sighs from his seat. "Well?" Priscilla sits up and looks sternly at Zebulon. "How long do you expect the project to take?" "Unfortunately," Zebulon continues, "it's not a matter of when. I believe I know what the final pieces of the puzzle are. The problem is, I don't have them." "How many do you need?" "More than Ram can get scamming them from the mall deliveries." The gangly man chuckles for hearing his name. Priscilla rubs her temples. "So we'll need to expose ourselves then? A poor idea when we're already just under the Rangers' noses." Ram perks up. "If it's come to exposure no matter what, our timing is actually perfect." "Is that so?" Zebulon asks, though the point of his attention remains unchanged. "It turns out we'll have quite the selection to pick clean. There was a particularly big shipment not long ago. I was wondering why, until I found this." Ram pulls a flyer from his pocket and shows it to the group. It reads, "Pet Spy Sale, Lafayette Park, February 7th. Come and meet our Robo-Pets. Find the perfect animal buddy for you and or your Valentine." And picture on the paper is a clip art heart, surrounded by 4 robot animals. A wolf, an osprey, a ferret, and a pig. So, it opens up on literally just Mount Iwafune, the place where they record a lot of Sentai. The usual team is in the midst of a fight. It cuts through Midori beating up some mooks, and as she uppercuts one skyward, camera pans up to Rumi. Rumi, how are you dispatching a whole lot of mooks?
I'm doing the sweet-ass thing where you jam the spear in the ground and then you run around a bunch of mooks in a circle, like in the from the Matrix.
So
that also happened to Xena several times. So like, it's not they don't have a Wakata did not have a patent on that. Classic move.
So you spin around, kick several mooks. One just, of course, falls down the mountain, rolls down as he goes, yelling.
Wilhelm screams.
One just rolls so far down, just so much rolling, until finally it just pins down to a huge group of mooks. The dog catchers have surrounded Han. Oh no, what is he going to do?
Oh, Han is not afraid. He does that, like, cocky fucking shoulder swipe, like, you know, dust off my shoulder kind of shit fucking behavior. And then he's just gonna, like, oh my god, he's gonna rush these people and he's gonna grab them by the face, like, and slam them down into the dust, like, into the mountain. When a dust cloud will come up. And you should kind of do that over and over and over again, like he's chaining attacks together. Just grab face, slam into ground. Grab next face, slam in the ground. Grab next face, into the ground again. Oh, you're back up? No, you're not, on the ground. And just over and over and over again.
You see?
And I think one of them just runs up the mountain because he's panicking. Until the camera pans up to Kitsuki. Kitsuki, you're not quite as surrounded, but you are near the top of the cliff, dueling a whole lot of these dog catchers. How do you finish them off?
I think one by one, I like do the arrow twin disarming thing, until it's just sort of hurting them together until I've got the last one, and then I just like lunge forward like I'm going to like jump into the middle of them, and they all just accidentally back themselves off the cliff and roll down. Like, boom, motherfucker.
And
once that's done, there are just a whole lot of mooks now more towards the center. Camera pans out, and you've basically just, surrounded them. You're far away, but they are in the center. I'm guessing you all finished them off with a special attack.
Of course. It's narratively important Han lead the special attack this time, because now he's part of the team. It's important to my narrative.
There's not a lot of character development in a movie, right? Because you can't like do too much that would mess up the continuity of the show, right?
Right.
Yeah, don't want to leave out the kids who couldn't afford a theater ticket.
It's gonna be so jarring for the kids who watch the movie first and then go and watch the show and see Han not be a team player. Anyway, Han's gonna do like a slide kick. Like he's sliding into first base, but like a slide kick and knock them all down. And then that'll set them all up for everybody else to do their part of the combination attack.
I think Rumi just like runs across all the ones on the ground, like stepping on all their chests. And they all go, and their arms and legs go up.
I think I jump from an elevation and do that sort of like ridiculous, impossible sword in the ground AoE thing. Just like Earth shape. One that every anime inevitably has.
Maybe during the movie you learn the wind slash.
Dang.
Dang.
So yes, the remaining mooks explode. And that's it, you did it. So,
I will try to give Kitsuki a high five, but then missed the high five that he actually initiated himself.
He attempted a high five.
An attempt was made.
It's not that he's a jerk, it's just he's now trying to get better at the whole being friends thing. Whew. Midori just stretches. Oh, that takes care of that. Wonder what these guys are even doing out here, though.
Pulls out his vape. He still vapes. He starts vaping.
One thing at a time. You gotta work on one thing at a time.
Nobody's perfect.
Better out here than at the mall, where there's things that, if they break, things that people. Not us.
Guess so. They seem kinda aimless now, though.
Like, do we just drive home now? Like, what do we do?
Yeah, Midori just takes out her phone. Oh, look,
the bus
late
here.
for work. Which means Rumi's late for work. The rest of us are slacking off as per usual.
I mean, this is part of our work, technically, so I think we're fine.
So, you all walk off to get back to the mall. The scene fades out and fades in.
Oh my god, more guys! Okay, sorry.
A local bar.
Is that one dude that gets beat up by Shaggy in that?
Just the guy that gets thrown by Ultra Instinct Shaggy.
I'm glad you recognize that guy.
Fought Shaggy at 0.1% of his power.
Rules of nature, Shaggy.
So, the camera cuts into the bar and passes by the bikers. At one point, one gets really good focus on the back of their jacket, which says Final Riders. And it's got like a logo of like the planet, but also a skull on it. But then the camera shifts over to, I'm assuming, an incredibly handsome boy who's just hanging out. One of the bikers approaches you, and he's like, "The heck are you doing? You don't look like you're supposed to be around here."
I mean, it's a bar. It's open to the public, right? I just walked. I was gonna get a drink.
Hey, this guy thinks just anyone can walk into the bar. And they all just start laughing in unison.
Protagonist walks into a bar.
Do you guys not know how bars? Here, I'll show you. And I go to the bartender to try and order a drink.
The bartender's like, yes, I'll get you a drink. And he pours some water and gives it to you. Here's a drink. And everybody laughs again.
I drink. Is it like a glass, or just did he put it in a shot glass just to really fuck with me?
He put it in a shot glass and is still charging you.
Alright, I down it and ask for another.
Oh, wise guy, are ya? Who do you think you are?
My name is Clay.
Real quick, is your rider form a secret identity, or like, would people know that Clay does the whole lot of fighting and is a Kamen Rider.
I feel like it's most modern writers where I don't make any effort to hide my identity, but somehow nobody knows. So these guys don't know that I am the Dice Rider.
I think most of
But
them...
I'm not gonna hide.
Most of them laugh, but one guy's like, wait a minute. That's him! You're like, him? The Kamen Rider! Dice Rider! You're like, oh shit. So
Look,
yeah, closest guy to you is about to throw a punch. What do?
Let's see, let's look at my turns. I have a regular turn, display precise fighting technique. So is the guy trying to throw a punch behind me?
Yeah, you turn to
I wanna...
yelling.
The guy behind me is trying to punch me. I don't turn towards him, but I do grab his fist in my hand.
Oh!
Rude. I just want to talk.
We ain't talking to someone like you, Ryder.
You are, right now.
Hey, don't fall for it. He's trying to use one of the mind games. Just use your other fist. And he tries. You just catch it, don't you?
Yeah, I'm assuming this is the same regular turn.
Yep.
I catch both his arms and then throw him onto this pool.
Ooh.
Look, everyone, I just want to know why you all became the biggest cowards on Earth. Used to be I couldn't step out to get groceries without dealing with some of you assholes. But I not heard from you all like a month now. But I finally get to you.
We ain't telling you anything. And some of them take out weapons and they just slowly start to circle you.
I am going to fail to react effectively. I'm just going to walk up to the person who I think is in charge and go, look, it's okay. Fear is how most people stay alive. I just want to have a chat about, and then I just want to get beamed in the back of the head.
One guy just wails you with a pipe.
Yes, I'm going to spend that token I just earned to transform.
Chance, form a Henshin. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Dice Rider.
So yes, you transform into Dice Rider. Prell's hype for this.
Alright, I picture like in his chest area he has like, oh god, is it Sorry that has the dome with the dice in it? Boggle. No, not Boggle.
Yeah, like I know what you're talking about, but that's like
Trouble.
Trouble.
Okay, yeah.
The pop
Yeah,
Trouble.
Boggle Snort. It's Dingle Bop. He has one of those. He presses it, but instead of staying in the dome, the die like shoots out of his chest and lands in front of him. And he gets a 1. Good way to start. Out of the 1 on the die, just a single line shoots out, and he grabs it, and the line of light turns into a spear. And the die announces
1 spear.
And then, I guess, back to precise fighting technique.
I think they just come running after you, mook after mook. So, do you just, like, basically use the spear, or are you more like Roomy, where you're, like, flipping off it and shit?
The only move that I absolutely have to do is I knock somebody's head onto the pool table, jump to the other side, and then use the spear to knock one of the pool balls into their face.
Absolutely, yep.
Doesn't accomplish much, but it's cool.
One's not bad at all, because, you know, you get excellent choreography like that, so... All of the mooks are knocked out, and there's like, well, one guy is still semi-conscious, and he's like, I don't know nothing, I was just hanging out. Got a lot more freedom now. Bleh. And then he's out. You then hear...
Interrogate the unconscious, I suppose.
You then hear somebody come out through the door. Oh, not bad, Clay. Still, though, doesn't look like these guys are really going to provide much information. And out steps Takara Yoshioka, who is the coin rider,
Oh god,
but he's not transformed now. It would seem the final ride gang in this area has been left out of the loop, as it were.
Oh, figures. Just my luck.
Yeah, I see you got a 1 there.
He like sheepishly hides the spear behind him. I've told you my powers don't work that way.
He chuckles.
Every number is equally likely to get, so they're all equally as strong.
Unfortunately, I couldn't find much info from any of the grunts either. However, my sisters informed me that Hammond Roller has set up a new shop in Lafayette. The camera cuts to an old, long-haired man, dressed much like a vampire, and drinking brandy while glancing over some cards. We slowly zoom out to see he's sitting at a blackjack table before we pan over to a different table. There are two people there. One a large, muscular, bearded man, and the other a middle-aged blonde woman whose resting face implies intense displeasure.
I must thank you again, Karen. Construction here went smoothly, and I'm sure having the only casino in the Meiji district will be quite advantageous.
Yes, well, Mr. Roller. Karen takes a swig of her rosé wine. You're lucky your selection is so good. A den of gambling like this isn't normally the kind of place I'd allow.
Ha! I hope my wine isn't the only thing you're interested in. I have so much more to offer.
Oh? Karen swirls her wine in a uniform motion.
Yes, and saying that, I should admit my motives in building here aren't entirely altruistic. While I may be here to provide the good people of Lafayette with entertainment, there's also something dangerous lurking in the city.
The Rangers? Karen asks, rolling her eyes.
Ha! I wish my problems could be so colorful. No. You see, what I have is a problem with some of my contractors.
Alright, so you're all coming back from that successful mission.
It's the dinkiest fountain.
Hey, they repaired.
Why even bother having a fountain at that point? Just have a pool, it's fine.
Don't swim
so
in the mall. Jeez.
Not a swimming pool, just a pool.
Just like a small pool for...
I've never been to a mall with a pool, just so we're clear.
Not a swimming pool!
just a larger fountain than this. This pathetic fountain. The only fountain I could find that didn't have other people in the shop because I'm just kind of uncomfortable about doing that. But anyway, as you make your way back, you see Shinju and Rei chatting it up. Midori's like, oh, weird detour. Guess I'll take the long way to work. However, you three, being less irresponsible, probably just keep going forward.
Well, Han will make eye contact with, I think it was Shinju, the lady.
Yeah.
And like do like the small nod, but then keep walking.
It is really strange, though. Everything just sort of stopped around here. I don't get it. And Ray just responds like, yeah, I mean, isn't that a good thing, though, if the PetRangers really haven't been showing up at the mall? Absolutely not. If we can't find them now, we don't know what they're doing. They're not causing damage, which is good, but we don't know what happened to them. There have been reports of fights outside of town, and that's all well and good, but we don't know if they're going to escalate again.
I just bought stock in a rock quarry, and I sure hope they don't blow that up.
I'm just saying, nobody should ever fight on Mount Iwafune. Who would possibly do that?
Yeah, who would do that? That's crazy.
And so you just keep walking until you get to Pet Spy. Midori just meets up with you. Despite having taken the long way, she's just like, "Sup, what took you guys so long?"
Did you take a shortcut through the mall?
There's no such thing as a shortcut in a mall.
Actually, there are those back doors and secret hallways in the back that you can go to move from the store. You know, you're right.
The mall by me is a big loop, but you can go through a store, go to the middle, and then get to the other side.
That's pretty cool.
It's all but from Clue.
Good to see you, by the way.
Midori looks like she's about to roll her eyes, but resists the temptation. Just gets like halfway there. Yeah, I guess it's time for work, and you look inside Pet Spy, and Ark is just all over the place setting stuff up. He's like, "Oh, thank goodness you're here." Okay, so I finally got a contract going. So we're gonna have a special event tomorrow. Now, Valentine's Day is coming up in a couple of weeks, and in order to boost sales, we're going to have a small advertisement campaign in the park. Small advertisement campaign / actual sales.
Like a kiosk?
You like have like signs or something?
Oh, there's gonna be so many signs, and
Are
our
they
points
signs?
back.
What do these signs look like?
It looks like Ark has attempted to make them look professional, but has also been rushing a little bit. This is going to be big, you guys. This Valentine's Day sale is going to boost our reputation so much. And you know what? We've had a couple normal weeks. We haven't been attacked. And look, the store over there hasn't even been filled. I think we're just going to have a nice time. You can all go to the park and get this whole thing moving. He points to Rumi, and he mainly looks at Rumi. He kind of acknowledges Han and Kitsuki. Doesn't even glance at Midori. So, I've just been able to divert all of my energy into this.
It just occurred to me. Han thinks internally. Internal thoughts on Han as he's not paying attention to anything that Ark says. That I'm gay, and yet 3 women want to date me. Just something to think about.
He winks to the audience. Everybody looks confused.
Alright, first of all, Shinju does not want to date you. She wants to fake date you. It's completely different.
Yeah, and Kit wants
No matter what Hallmark tells
Kit
you.
wants to fake date him too, and who knows who the third person is? He just made that person up.
No, she didn't. You tried to talk her into doing that.
But she agreed, which means she wants to.
I thought Kim was real dating you.
Maybe.
Because I wouldn't have done the Shinju thing if you already had a fake dating thing going on.
Yeah, no, that relationship ended.
Yeah. No, Kitsuki. Han asked Kitsuki to be his fake girlfriend, and Kitsuki said maybe. And then Shinju was like,
I believe she gave you an ultimatum.
yeah. And Han offered to draw her like lewd art of her favorite magical girls in exchange for her dating him.
So I feel like you're explaining this like in real time as you walk into the store.
You're sitting in the middle of the conversation.
Only 2 women want to date Han, and he's made up a third one. Anyway.
It did start as an internal monologue, but now Kitsuki and Han are just distracted by this. Ark looks befuddled. Well, it's fine. Really, all you have to do tomorrow is just go to the park, have a nice time, make sure none of the animals break down or anything. Just, make sure they're doing their thing, make them look cute. Do a few sales, advertise the shop, and you're good.
Do you think we have to try that hard? Could we just be there and then go home? The park doesn't have Wi-Fi.
Does it have data on your phone?
I have a lot of gacha games to play, and you don't have any idea how much data that's gonna be. I'm pretty sure you get data for every click.
I got unlimited. I'll let you tether my phone.
Hell yeah.
I don't have to worry about that anymore, because I tossed my phone into the fountain because I didn't get a legendary card, says Midori.
This is based on nothing in real life at all, is it?
No, definitely not, Fire Emblem Heroes. I'm so glad I got 3 fucking Nagas, Fire Emblem Heroes. Anyway.
You're fishing for a character that kills gods that gave you 3 gods.
I fucking know. That Silver snowed me, and I'm still mad about it.
Oh my god, I heard you hate dragons and gods. Here's 3 things that are both a dragon and a god.
For a wild moment, I thought Ark was the one throwing his phone into the fountain. Until you says Midori, because I forgot you're also in this scene.
Look, Ark doesn't play gacha games. He knows better. He ain't living that life. He has Nico Atsume on his phone and nothing else.
Does he make calls? It's just that game.
Alright, and real quick before we move on, I also forgot to mention, I just gave you all a token for that intro scene. Nothing in the rules says you did a cool intro, so you get a token, but you have a token.
Nice.
So, yeah, Ark's like, 1 week till Valentine's Day. Things are actually looking up. And he actually looks up, and then the scene changes to the park. What's everybody doing on this bright, sunshiny day? The stand has been set up. People have started to file in.
I feel like where I'm at the stand, and my bird is just sitting on the top of the stand, just looking at people and mugging, looking extra adorable and marketable.
Are there other ospreys on display that are just, not quite as fancy, but they're there?
Yeah, they're not as nice though.
If you like this osprey, you might like these osprey. Maybe.
We're gonna push that merch, so.
Alright, so Midori is just off in the back, giving all the animals little picnic baskets, so more importantly, what's everybody else doing?
If we have any kind of signage, she's definitely holding it like with one hand really high, and the other one desperately trying to click every little bubble.
Are you doing like sign spinning?
Yes, but it's like really, really aimless.
I like to think that like none of the signs were actually made to be sign spun, but Kitsuki just did it anyway.
And they show her sweet moves.
Han is claiming that he can make Clyde disappear. He's got like a little table. And he put Clyde on the table, gets the crowd around, and says, "I can make this pig disappear."
Oh no way, he can't make that disappear.
Yeah, everybody crowds around, and Han throws a little blankie over Clyde, and everybody watches in amazement. And Han pulls the blankie away, and Clyde is still there. And he says, "Buy artificials," and then he goes back to base.
Well, that was thoroughly unimpressive, but he was not. That pig was cute, so I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence.
Can artificials play music?
Yeah.
Oh, definitely. Okay, definitely. The kid has Kiba like playing the most like ludicrous, just anime themed shit and just dancing. Everybody's kind of awkwardly dancing, but not really.
Gotta be playing easy breezy, right?
Yes. Every tenth track is definitely a Rickroll, just because like you have the power. Why not?
It's not actually a bad song.
It's a good song.
It's actually a really good song.
One person specifically is like, I like this song, but hey, lady playing this, am I being memed on?
Do you want to be memed on?
Not particularly on this day, no ma'am.
Then no, you're not.
My god, the power's in my hands.
It's true, it always was there.
That's the fucking Ranger says of this episode. You don't have to be memed on if you don't want to, just let it go.
Go out there and take control of your life.
So, while this goes on, we get a quick cut. We see that, I'm assuming Clay has to have a motorbike, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
As a rider, he has to. Like, why? How would he not?
He has like fuzzy dice between the. I guess motorcycles don't really have spokes the way bicycles do, but it's the same concept.
Does he have fringe on the handlebars, but the dice instead?
Yes.
On the sides. There we go.
Yes.
I did it. I cracked it.
Absurdly dice themed with this motorbike.
What's the Vandy license plate say?
I mean, dice would be the obvious thing. It says SNKEYES. That might be too many letters for a license plate. I don't know off the top of my head, but it's fine.
Look, the kids aren't going to know that.
I thought I did one of her runs.
So, Takara walks along the motorcycle and is like, well, it's a little bit of a longer trip than you're used to, but Kay and I will catch up later. You'll be fine for the time being, though, yes?
Yeah, no problems here. Just gonna drive my motorbike across 2 incredibly large states.
Listen, I've done it. Jenna knows.
I didn't even know you had a motorbike.
Yeah, it's good.
I have not.
It's
I've not
it's
ridden
incredibly
it in years.
nerdy bike, unless you've changed it recently.
I didn't.
Okay.
I still. No, I haven't even had one.
Okay.
I didn't know you were so cool.
I haven't ridden it in like 2 years.
I tried to convince him to jump a shark, but we could find neither shark nor ramp to jump it.
So, Clay rides off, and we cut back to the park. Han, at one point, you get tired. Do you, move to cover your face as you yawn?
Yawn he just yawns, just openly, not big mouth open, eat a bug kind of yawn.
Damn, so rude. Then, again, weird question. What do you next do with one of your hands? You, gonna try that magic trick again?
Oh, no, now I'm getting a crowd around and I'm telling them I'm gonna try and take a selfie with God. And I'm, tilting the camera, my camera down and, shifting myself up towards the sky and, posing and saying, no, wait, just hold on, I'm gonna take a selfie with God, and they're gonna get bored really quick. God's never showing up.
Well,
And that's what I'm doing with my hand.
Weird thing is, though, as you move to your pocket, you realize there's shaving cream all over your hand and now all over your pocket.
Ah, rude. Awful.
And everybody else, you look at your hands, and you've also got shaving cream in your hands. How strange.
Excuse me.
You heard what I said.
We've been pranked.
And as you say that, you hear somebody go, "Hey, I was looking at that." And you look over, you see one of them dog catchers has just caught a dog.
Oh no.
Like an Astro dog?
No, it's a robo dog.
Oh, no.
Still pretty rude to do, though. This is a sanctioned operation. You can show off these artificials.
Hey, we have a permit.
Do we have a permit?
You definitely have a permit.
I probably shouldn't say it exactly like that, because then it's gonna sound like it's fake. But, yeah, we have that thing.
I feel like Park should be at the podium or stand or whatever thing he's got set up, holding the permit up and pointing to it.
Let's do this, baby. I know the law.
He can't really be here at the park because it's pretty far away from the mall, but you do actually get a text, and Ark has sent you a picture of the permit and him pointing to it.
I don't think they care.
They make their dog catcher mook noises, which, hard to parse, but properly. And so, as they start to menace, you see another figure approach behind them, and he just looks like he's just sort of snickering, which is weird.
I don't fucking recognize what that's from.
That's Mischief Makers.
Okay.
It does look oddly familiar because it looks relatively like the mascots you have been fighting.
Just want to say, finally, it's my turn to not get a reference. Do continue.
So, this mascot comes from behind. Doesn't really say anything, though. Which one of you steps forward?
I'm in charge.
I step forward. I'm ostensibly in charge.
Your shoelace has been tied up.
I'm the responsible one.
You feel a tug as your shoelaces are tied together somehow. You fool! You shouldn't have done that. But then again, when Chief Mischief is around, there's not really much you can do. I'm everywhere, baby.
Chief Mischief?
Wait. Really?
What are you reeling? I'm Chief Mischief. It's self-explanatory. I'm the master of mischief, you see.
So you want yourself the Chief Mischief?
Well, I mean, I was given the title, and you hear another voice chime in. I mean, it's just a name. He's evil, so, he doesn't have to, really abide by the law. Whatever. Anyway, yes, here. This is my masterpiece. And a very heavily dressed woman appears from behind a tree. She's got so many layers.
Like Shrek.
So, behold, my greatest creation, Chief Mischief. Well, actually, I don't know if I'd say greatest creation, but he's pretty good, right, guys? Right? Come on.
What do you call him?
Camera, like, hey, y'all, it's the third girl who wants to date me. And looks back.
I don't even know you.
That's what makes
Just so you know,
hot.
just so you know, like, Kid is giving you the flattest stare.
I see you're amazed.
From something. From the ground as I pick myself up and untie my shoes.
I figured I'd come by and trash whatever it is going on here. I don't actually know, like, super well what's going on, but it's a public space, right? I'm gonna get attention for this, I think.
Are you just fighting us for clout?
I mean, I guess? I mean, hey, look, it's gonna be one-sided, because, like, I got this guy right here, and she points to Chief Mischief, and those guys also followed me, so, like, hey, it's gonna be pretty one-sided. I think I've got the upper hand here, but yeah, it's for clout. For you see, I am Destiny's Star Child. My name is Luis.
Excuse me?
Man, there was a lot in those like 5 or 6 words.
Did you follow any of that? I look at
I just can't
Han.
believe we let her monologue. I just want you all to know I'm disappointed in us. No other villain has actually been able to finish their entire monologue before.
I feel bad about the other one, though.
Yeah, what the
I was
fuck? I say
mostly
like
DJ.
6 words as Lewis, and you all are lining up to beat my ass. Nobody wants to stop Befter from talking.
Han's pointing it out.
I know, but now I feel bad about it.
There we go.
I learned. It's character development.
You all seem like a fine bunch. You would never interrupt a monologue.
It's not true.
Score.
You
I
see,
feel like somebody could do something for a light turn, but I'm not the GM anymore, so I don't know.
I didn't realize it was my turn to interrupt the fucking monologue, guys. God. And you know what? No, I failed to react and overexerted myself. It was my responsibility to interrupt the monologue. Han's getting really worked up. He's so disappointed. I beefed it.
excuse me, how dare you? And she points to Han. I found a perfectly good set of tools on eBay. Look, I was just looking for art supplies, and then I found some stuff that let me do this. And she motions to Chief Mischief. Isn't this cool? Come on! I don't know what he's the mascot of yet, to be completely honest, but hey, I've been calling places. None of them have gotten back to me. But look at him. He's good, right?
I mean, no. Look, hold on, come here. Look, he pulls out like a sheet of paper. He's like, let me draw you like a better henchman. And he like pulls out a marker and he starts like working at drawing a better henchman. And he's just pulled up next to him, and he's like working real hard on drawing this better henchman. And
oh, I see. She says, picking Han up.
now, this is me taking action, leaving myself vulnerable, which is a regular turn.
Oh, though, I notice, you really don't know much about the fabric texture, do ya? Here, let me give you a first-hand show of it, and she just tosses you at the mascot, and you just slam into it.
Ah.
Hey, that wasn't really a prank, but I guess it worked.
Han will go oof and like hit him.
Epic assault prank.
I don't know if I suspect the mascot just catches him. Just trying to be nice. I didn't think we had to have a fight, but all right, whatever.
I specifically came here for a fight. That's what I announced.
I'm hogging the spotlight. Like Han is like sits there ruminating on how to handle this, because if they fight her, they give her what she wants and she gets the clout.
All right.
Well, that's how well you fight.
React to this display.
I don't really know what to do here.
You are being menaced, vaguely, but it's still a menace. here, and it's interrupting stuff.
Are there other people around? Have they driven off all the onlookers? Or like still like we can't do well? I'm gonna just hit. I'm gonna just point and tell my bird to go harass her on the head and shoulders.
So yeah, you send your bird, and it's like she's like, hey, quit it, stop, hey, all right, which one of you jokers is doing that? And I think to answer your previous question, the crowd probably wasn't too fazed by the weirdo coming in and pranking everyone, because that's just weird, super weird, but like nothing too much. But like now this is starting to escalate into a bit of a fight, so like the crowd's getting a bit more worked up. People are starting to leave.
Maybe someone can take care of that.
Oh my god! If you just want me to say something, do that.
Can't scare away the people.
There's a crowd pushing past you as you're trying to just continue doing a sign, but also staring at in disputement at this display.
I mean, is it like it's not escalated yet, though, right?
I mean, things have started looking like trouble. The mooks have actually used this opportunity to start like catching more of the artificials.
Oh, they're catching them, then yeah. We need to do something. We got rid of the onlookers. Get them out of here.
I'm trying to think of what would be a good way besides. I was about to say I was about to use the Robo Dog to get them to like go look over there, but then I'm like, oh shit, I need that. Shit, I can't think of anything besides just like, okay, how big is this sign? I feel like it's pretty big.
Yeah, it can be a big sign.
Okay. I'm going to, now I have this crowd, like, who's moving off a little too slowly. I'm going to just, like, bring it down to, like, people level and just literally push. Like, okay, time to go. Here's the big thing, like, just the comb, just, like, pushing you along. Here we go. Nothing to see here.
Hand the coupons.
I'm just, like, I have, like, a little thing of coupons, like, a little, like, fanny pack of coupons. I'm just, like, dumping it into the crowd with one hand, like, okay, lightly salted, just like throw it to some random person as I'm pushing them off. I was trying to figure out how to make that a light move, and I couldn't.
Light turn. I mean, unless you can legitimately make a big moment out of ask someone, why do people follow me? It's probably just one of the regular.
I think it's fine. It's just a regular turn. Yeah, that's why I was really stuck. I was like, there has to be a way to make this light turn. Yeah, I think that's what I'll do.
Alright, so the crowd begins to disperse, which means things soon lighten up so that it's just you, the dog catchers, and the other weirdos here. But in the meantime, we cut to Clay, who is riding until he suddenly comes across some bikers. And...
Go away! I'm tired!
Oh, he's not used to cross-country travel, unlike us. We're Cockney now, I guess.
Slam you, your incomprehensible accents.
Everybody slam your monster energies and let's go after him.
I make that noise and just speed up on my motorcycle.
Bikers with no mercy. Go all out.
I just want to leave. I want to stop. I want to get there so I can stop. If you can think of a heavy turn, I'm trying to use the light turn, become demoralized by a setback.
I'm going to say there are actually gang members ahead of you, and so they end up boxing you in, and so you're just in the middle of a whole lot of people, and they're just whacking you. Let's see. So yeah, I'm going to say pull back on someone's power for now. That'll be the heavy turn. You can't really transform right now, and you're really being inconvenienced in your cross-country travel.
So looking at my regular turns, I have try to pinpoint an adversary's weakness, so I want to try and find a weak spot in this blockade that I can just ride through.
Alright, so yeah, you just ride through them. honestly, either of the front ends are probably fine, because, like, the guy in front looks like he's having a little trouble reaching around. It's super difficult to do this on a motorcycle in the first place, but, like, he's got to turn around. Really got to bend that spine.
Alright, so I guess now I'm past the blockade, but they're still following me and occasionally catching up to me.
So,
I can't transform.
We'll leave that off by saying that's put someone else in a compromising situation for now. And back at the park, we see another van drive up.
Han is
and
getting up, and he's like, okay, let's try this again. Start over. Who are you again? To the villain. I've got this time, y'all. This is Mulligan.
Oh, I'm Luis. How's it going? I mean, fear me.
Luis. More like Lucis. Yeah,
How dare you?
Finger guns? What's the plan?
It's different, Mooks. So, you are now in the middle of just a whole lot of dudes. These guys are also going after the artificials, except they're a little more aggressive about it.
Oh, dang.
Luis is like, they're not with me. Hey, could you guys leave for a sec? Like, I'm doing a thing? Alright, so the park is empty of citizens, so you're probably good to transform if you want.
Yeah, I transform.
Yellow Osprey.
Yeah.
I'm still starting on the ground with my shoelaces, and somehow this fixes that.
Ranger suits don't have shoelaces.
Exactly.
Yep, that's it.
So, Luis, just out of curiosity, Han.
Yeah.
Once you get all this clout, what are you gonna do with it? Like, let's assume we fight you, because we're about to. What do you do
Okay.
with the clout?
Well, once I win this...
Slide is starting to weld to him, by the way, but keep going.
you know, I'm gonna, like... Okay, so...
Black Pig.
People are gonna know me, right? You gotta get your name out there. And once...
Transform. Keep going.
And once your name is out there, you got that rep, right? So, once I got that rep, then I'm finally gonna be able to, like, sell one of these...
And she punches her right before she even finished. Displaying a reckless fighting technique.
Alright. You punch her. Chief Mistress is like, whoa, I don't think I'm supposed to let that happen. Should we have a nice handshake before we fight?
I don't know.
Well,
You would do it and then do like, and like psych.
Oh yeah, he's a bad boy. I forgot. Thank you, Jeff, for reminding me. Yeah, he does that.
oh no, I'm the victim of a too slow.
Kid loses her mind. That's the coolest shit.
Alright, so they're doing their thing over there. For the time being, there are a whole lot of mooks. What's everyone else doing?
I feel like I'm getting just terribly. Is only the one guy doing the pranking, or is the other pranking going on?
It's just the one guy. He's doing some pranks.
I think that they're all doing pranks. I'm trying to avoid the pranks, but they don't exist. So I'm just like comically running around these moves as they try to actually hit me, and I think they're trying to like give me a pies and stuff.
A pie is a lot more dangerous than a punch, I'll have you know. Alright, so that's fail to react and ignore the important.
Yes.
This is our most incompetent episode. This is where the commentator has to come in.
Alright, Kitsuki, what are you doing?
Does it look like Han can handle the miladies?
Honestly, yeah.
Okay, because I was just now that I'm back from awkwardly shoving the crowd over there. I don't really have any context. I missed part of it, so I'm just gonna I see mooks. I hit mooks.
Alright.
Sword waving, yelling, "Who wants to be first?"
The dog catchers and the other gang members just sort of make confused mook noises.
That is also take action, leaving yourself vulnerable. I'm not really I'm going right in the middle, just bald-facedly.
Although, I could say this is a light turn, because you're heading into danger, and, like, your squad's here, but they're not really in the fight. One of them is elsewhere, and one of them is fearing pranks.
Yeah, actually, that's probably better, because I'm not really waiting. I just assumed that we're already started, so I need to catch up. I didn't really ask about that.
You just get right in the middle, and pretty much all of the mooks are just going to turn their attention to you, because, like, Rumi's not really doing much, and you're the one fighting, so you get a lot of pressure on you, but mainly from the dog catchers. If you weren't in the middle of a fight, you might notice that the gangs are actually kind of backing off from the fight. But yeah, Midori's also fighting, I guess. She's doing something. Yeah, the movies have to give someone the shaft, so it's Midori this time. In the middle of this, though, you see, suddenly, a whole lot of the dog catchers, you know, they're fighting. You suddenly hear a whoop sound, and some of them fall over. And in their backs, you see purple feathers. And in the distance, you see a very imposing figure. I guess, armor-wise, it's more or less just like the Flame Emperor's armor from Three Houses, but like purple, and also the pauldrons are all feathers instead of just a few feathers, and also the cape is feathers. It's a lot of feathers. It's Feather City.
That's an extensive amount of feathers.
And the figure has the head of an owl. And Luis just looks back and is like, oh, come on! Why is everybody here? This is the thing I'm doing!
I'm never gonna get Twitter followers at this rate.
Wait, since when do we have a purple ranger?
The figure says nothing as they enter. They just, like, whack the nearest dog catcher. And then, since Rumi's not really been doing much other than avoiding pranks, the figure's gonna go after you.
Bird versus bird.
Yeah, also, should mention, they have a very large shield and a spear. They're going shield forward.
Oh no. Let's see. Well, I am going to address the immediate problem with the level head. I'm going to bear down my own spear, dig in, and spear right past the shield.
You both clash, and the figure says, "You're on public property. What are you doing?"
It is. What? Look around you!
If it's public property, that means it belongs to everybody. That means it belongs to us because we're everybody. And we can do whatever we want. Eat shit, buddy!
Oh, the crass one, how delightful. You know, I'd heard you'd not really been spotted around town too often. A shame you've suddenly brought the fight back here.
We didn't? I say it like a Jabber. I am taking a heavy turn, so I think what I actually do is I spear past the top of her shield, and I pull back, and my spear hooks on the top and pulls it forward out of her hands, and I throw it to the side.
Not bad.
And I think camera follows over the shield to Han. Which one of these jokers are you focusing on at the moment?
So Han usually focuses on the boss, but I presume after getting punched in the face that loser is staying away from him. And he's like
Just keep your distance, yeah.
caught up with this mascot, the weird looking thing, the prank mascot, and it's just like this comedy of bullshit where like every time he tries to like do something with the mascot is pranking him harder. Like first he's like punching at the mascot, and the mascot like ducks away and grabs him and starts pulling napkins out of him, and like he's a fucking like magician, and like throws a blanket over him and pulls it away, and Han is not there. And then as he tosses the blanket to the ground, Han crawls out from underneath the blanket. It's like,
Oh my god! So, you're aiming for the title of Chief Mischief, are you?
I'm saying he's getting owned by this thing because it's pranking him. I think at one point Han gets sick of it, and I don't know if I have a token. I think I'm gonna.
You do.
Okay. Let me see. Yeah.
Is your refrigerator?
Yeah, exactly. I guess I'm gonna use my heavy turn to clear the way of adversaries during a brawl. So Han's gonna get like freaking tired of this guy and just like and he does this every time, but it's like his thing. He's just gonna grab this dude and toss him aside and just steamroll his way back towards the loser, his boss, and just knock everybody away like fucking bowling pins. And like get to the lady and just like train noises towards this lady.
Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no.
Yeah?
I think I dropped some string over there. And she starts running. As she's running by, another van pulls up, and more mooks come out of that. However, we then see another motorcycle. Actually, we see a bunch of motorcycles come in. Has Clay bothered transforming yet?
I feel like he's going to do that once he stops.
Clay
I feel like that's what should happen. He should like whip the motorcycle around. They do the fucking Akira shot.
Right,
of course.
Then he steps off the motorcycle. He goes, "Alright, fine. Do you want to fight?"
Dice Rider.
Let's test your luck.
2. Just going in order.
Rolling in order. Alright. The 2 dots on the side of the die form a line, which he then grabs, and it becomes a sword.
Right.
2. Sword.
And then a regular turn, precise fighting technique. I'm going to start slashing tires on these motorcycles.
Jeez. The motorcycles and men just go flying and tumbling all over the place.
This is what you wanted! You wanted a fight, you got a fight! What did you think was going to happen?
Alright, so...
That's all I'm going to do for now, unless something happens to me.
Kitsuki, a little more has been going on, so some of the pressure is off of you if you want to try doing something new.
Can I get either one of our big bats? or am I still kind of tangled up?
I mean, they're just mooks, so if you want to go after somebody else, you could probably break this pretty easily. Are still in the midst of mooks, of course, if that affects her any.
Yeah, I think I'm going to just play impressive fighting technique to, like, clear out as many of these mooks as I can. Just a regular turn.
Alright. So yeah, mooks start flying everywhere, and... God, there's just bodies everywhere at this point. It's just... this park is full. It's a good thing there are, strangely, far fewer artificials than there were a few minutes ago, because, man, the landscape is otherwise cluttered. They could be in trouble. Rumi, you're still in the midst of your fight with this mysterious owl, and they're not really letting up. You disarmed their spear, you said, right?
I disarmed their shield.
Okay, so they lost their shield.
So now we're evenly matched. Now this is their shield.
So yeah, they're spear fighting you. But you notice, there are, like, all of the weird mooks that aren't dog catchers that you're not used to, have been loading the vans, and elsewhere, Han is just chasing Luis.
We've somehow gone into one of those Scooby-Doo hallways. We don't ask. And we're like,
it's like a bunch of bushes that you come around.
It's a bunch of bushes, but it's still the Scooby-Doo hallway gimmick, but it's just with bushes instead of doors.
Oh, there is just too much I need to worry about right now. Oh jeez. Are they loading? They're loading the ammo in the van, right? They're stealing them.
Yep. Looks like
it. I do a backflip to get some distance, and then I turn. I throw my spear like a javelin to like one of the wheels of that van. I am displaying agile fighting technique to solve this problem. As I also like backflip towards the van, right, to after the spear. That's how you do it. You do like the handsprings. That's how you go fast in Sentai.
Alright, so you throw the spear at one of the vans, it cuts the tire. You, however, have directed the ire of these gang members who are now just gonna start kind of aimlessly going after you.
I do backflips over them.
Dang, backflips. So I think for the time being, you've also separated yourself from the owl, because you're just flipping through the crowd.
Yep.
Alright.
There's a lot we need to deal with. Well, let's see. I'm done with the motorcycle mooks. I don't have much context for anything else that's going on.
Yeah, so half these mooks are weird dog catcher looking guys. You don't know them, but you do know that like the other mooks are like the powered up version of the final ride gang members.
I'm not going to spend a token just yet. I don't have a token actually.
Yeah, because you use one to transform.
So I need to ruin something perfectly. So remind me, who is currently fighting the train robber mooks?
Yeah.
Rumi.
I'm doing backflips and front flips and hands.
I go to rush at the mooks and I keep running right under where you're going to land during your flips. You just keep like kicking me in the face. I just keep like, this would be the perfect place to attack from, but you've also figured that out and you're also going there through the air. So you can't stop, and I refuse to look up.
Never look up, that's my motto.
God, what are the odds?
Alright, so with this distraction, you do take out the mooks that are currently here. The ones in the van just decide to cut their losses and just start going, deflated tires.
Oh, no.
And so yeah, while they're going, I'm gonna say either Kitsuki or Han.
It's been a while since Kitsuki's done anything, so her.
It's been longer since Han's done. Well, actually, it has been a while since.
I just went.
Mainly, I'm gonna do a heavy turn as the thing, so if anybody wants to offer up getting temporarily owned and getting separated from the pack for a bit, then...
Okay, I have a compromise for you. I will get
Okay.
if I choose where we get teleported to. I will accept this compromise.
Alright, you don't get, like, teleported, but as the loudmouth, since Rumi is otherwise distracted, the owl turns to you and is just like, I'm already tired of you.
Yeah, well, the Kamen Rider guy tired your friend's tires with his knife. Han says, still trying to make puns and being very, very bad at it. Their tires, yeah.
Owl just looks back and forth.
I don't see any of my friends here.
Oh, it's a shame you don't have friends.
Bear this in mind. Everyone in this park at the moment seems to be my enemy. That includes you.
And they walk by their shield and just sort of like flip it up into the air with their foot.
Uh-huh.
And they then toss their shield into you.
Ouch.
And I guess just punch you backwards, and then they use their special attack. You're pinned to the ground with a whole lot of feathers that they launch.
Oh, damn.
They throw their shield up into the air, land on you, and you just sort of explode.
Aegis Crusher.
And you go flying to another section of the park.
The section of the park that Han flies to is, like, for some dumb reason, like one of those kind of industrial buildings with, like, the fans off the side of it. And he's just, like, laying there pierced by feathers.
Oh, I love that. I love that set piece.
Yeah.
Alright, so yeah, Han, you are temporarily de-transformed. I won't make you spend a token when you re-transform if you do in the scene, but, can do some of that stuff for a while. In the meantime, Kitsuki, this imposing figure, has just launched Han. I think by now most of the dog catchers are probably done. Chief Mischief doesn't look like he's doing great.
Well, if something can throw one of us, that's not super great. So...
Canonically the strong, like, the physically strongest one.
Which means I think we need time to regroup, so I'm going to actually spin a heavy turn to use your weapon to drive off an opponent. So I think I see how I see this working is like, attacking from the side, kind of like blindsiding it, so that like it doesn't. So it can't see me coming. Can't really prepare. Knocking it off balance, and then jumping back to hopefully find Han back on his feet, so that we can do the double attack.
Yeah, Han doesn't even look that hurt. Like he's barely scuffed. He's standing up, dusting us off again, like grumbling to himself. Then you come back over to him, and he's just like, "Hey," and he just transforms.
I thought Han was like a mile away or something.
Well, they're in the industrial area with the fans hanging up the side of it now, inexplicably.
I mean, any set piece is just a commercial break away.
Yeah.
It's a movie!
Let's all go to the lobby. Okay.
Right,
Yeah, so
what
since...
team attack do you want to do with Mikitsuki? Because Han suits back up, and does the Ranger nod at you.
Ranger nod. Hey, you remember when we did that first time? You know, like at the fountain that we broke. I think we should do that again.
Remind me, the player. It was like he threw her, right? If I remember correctly.
That was poorly thought out.
It's the frog.
Very dangerous.
Trying to dual tech, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought you just slashed your weapons at the same time and made like an X-shaped energy beam.
We rushed the person and slashed them with our same time, saying "Stay out of this" because Han was team killing. Yeah, we can do that. Who do you want to do that to?
What's his name? I'm blanking on the name, I'm sorry.
Yeah, which one?
Mischief Boy.
Okay, so that, yeah, Chief Mischief. He's on the ground, having a bad time. But he gets up, like, oh god, I gotta think of one last prank. I can do this.
Alright, so...
Show's over, babe.
But so this time, the those are exactly the same as when Han originally was fighting with Kitsuki. Like, Han even turns to her the same way as he did when he first threw the punch at her. But instead, he grabs her hand instead, like, with the punch instead of punching her, and they go forward and they slash this thing together.
Chief Mischief is cut in half. It's like, well, you better go catch it. And then he explodes.
It's time for you to split, says Han. And then he goes,
After,
that was good.
It's like after he's already exploded and gone.
Yeah.
So he doesn't hear it.
A whisper on the wind says, that was a pun, but I appreciate it.
And
so...
then Han gives Kitsuki a high five and he doesn't miss it this time. Character development.
By this point, most of the other mooks have gotten away. The dog catchers are done. Before we continue on here, though, you see Louise like a mile away. Now she's in the industrial district. It's like, oh, thank goodness I got away. And then she gets whacked over the head and gets thrown in the van.
Dang.
I know.
So yeah,
So
Mark's pretty well clear. I guess Rumi and Clay are probably still not having the best time coordinating.
the last time, stop jumping where I'm going.
Alright, well...
Kamen Rider would be more cool and do more things. Kids paid to see you! You should do something!
This is only the first half.
Okay.
I'll steal the show in the second half, don't worry.
Okay.
So yeah, Midori stretches is like, alright, well, that went terribly. But Art didn't specify we can't let that happen, so hey, this is a disaster, but he'll only yell at us a little bit, right? Just a teensy bit?
I don't know if he'll just yell at us a teeny bit. He is the giant rat that makes all the rules.
Is the giant rat that makes all the rules. Anyway, what's their deal? And Midori points to where the owl was, but they gone.
Did they ran off with some artificials, right?
The owl did not. The gang members did.
Okay. I don't know what their deal was, but they also wanted the artificials. It looks like we're in some sort of, like, 5-way nonsense.
Yeah, speaking of 5-way, the other guy's gone, but what about you, driving guy?
Clay has run over to his bike, which was knocked over in the fight, and he's just like over it. Oh no, they scuff it though. Everything just keeps going wrong today.
Oh, so that's the worst thing that's happened to you.
No, not even close. It's just things keep happening. Normally when something really bad happens, everything else stops for a while. I have to drive all the way through Nevada, all the way through California, chased by those guys for over half the trip. My music playlist played every inappropriate song it could during that time.
It was just Danger Zone all the way through.
It's supposed to film it once, but Danger Zone the rest of the time.
I don't even know how that happened. It's not like I've got a playlist that's just Highway to the Danger Zone 600 times.
It's not a weird Spotify playlist.
It's a danger zone, not a danger spot. Keeps going.
You were in it, and you couldn't. Yeah.
Look, I gotta. Those guys in that van. I came here looking for them, so I'm gonna go after them too. I was mostly worried about my bike, that's obviously more important, but it sounds like you guys are also worried about the guys in the van?
Yeah, they still are friends.
Oh, fuck.
So, can you do this on your own, or do you need help?
This is a PG-13 movie, dude.
We only said it once! I'm sorry, I stole the F-bomb, nobody else can say it now. I'm gonna retcon that, he says, oh. I mean, I normally have at least one person helping me, so yeah, you all better come with me. Where is that guy, by the way? Absolutely useless.
Oh, sure, I get here for that part of it.
Huh.
And yeah, Takara comes in. Oh boy, quite the mess you've made here.
If only I had insulted you sooner, maybe you could have actually helped.
What is going on? Are there like other teams of like rangers all over the country or something? Is this how this works? Are we not unique?
I mean, this guy doesn't look like he's animal themed, so what's your deal, buddy?
He's got dice themed.
I guess I'll like actually properly de-transform now.
Wait, if there's more than us, then that means there's a possibility that we're the worst ones. I hate this.
That can't be true. There's no way.
But it could be.
Look, we didn't get canceled after one season, or like 10 episodes, so we're good, I think? We're probably good.
Well, yeah, The Simpsons lasted for like 10 years past its date.
It's been like 25. They went to the 80s.
And, hey, to be fair, before, we were the best and the worst Rangers. Now we're probably not the best, but there's a possibility we might not be the worst.
I'm sure we're right in the middle of the bell curve.
Hell yeah.
Look, I don't know what all this ranger talk is. We're riders. That's clearly different. Trademarks are completely different.
I mean, we have an RGB color scheme. Do you have an RGB color scheme? Takara just looks around like, oh, do they?
I mean, we mainly focus more on like the object themes rather than colors. Those are important, don't get me wrong, but there's a lot more variance in what we do. Anyway, look! I'm not here to discuss design philosophy. Are we saving your friends or not?
Oh, what's this about friends? Takara just sort of rubs the bridge of his nose.
The final riders kidnap their friends. Maybe because I didn't stop them quickly enough, it's not important. We're gonna go... We're gonna go help them now.
I have a question for you. How good are you at interrupting villain monologues? It's gonna be important.
Kay's like, I'm pretty good.
Can you riff, like, on short notice?
I think we all know the answer to that.
I think everyone else can make up for that. I think eventually I'm just gonna get frustrated. Like, look, every second we spend talking is like more distance between us and them.
At least
I'm going.
introduce yourself. No, wait.
My name is Clay, and I'm here to save the day.
Oh, right, introductions. I'm Takara Yoshioka. This is my sister Kay. I can introduce myself, you know. Please introduce yourself. Well, you already did it.
I'm Hanno. Got it recognized? Ha ha ha.
You just referenced Kingdom Hearts.
I did.
Kingdom Hearts love. Even Pro is mad at you.
Wait until you see what I do next session. You're gonna be furious.
I guess. How do you trail this car? Investigation check, beat it 15. No.
Well, first we have to get around the toll booth because I'm not fucking paying this toll.
There are no Tobos in town. It's fine.
Okay. So I guess the Dice Ranger Clay is on his bike because of course he is, but we don't really have any other vehicles. I think we established some people.
You have your words.
Right? We have no way to trail this thing.
Well, I mean, the one van had a flat tire, so it can't be going that fast.
Yeah.
So run down the road, we'll find it. And you got a motorcycle, go find where the van went.
Yeah, I'm just following the fucking tire tracks that left in the grass because they're driving through grass.
They get on a road eventually. But
Then I follow the mud.
And then
I have an idea.
wait.
I'll wait.
Alright.
Sorry. I was just gonna say, it doesn't matter where it comes from. It's time to sell more merch. So I say the rest of the team shows up and like a mystery solver's van, like Scooby-Doo again, because I'm on a Scooby-Doo kick right now. But instead, it's all gussied up with like pet spy and like artificial stuff, and it's like, you know, it's another piece of merchandise that the children
It's just
can
the
buy.
van for the store.
Yeah,
that's all
it's
it
the store
is.
van, and we're all piled in it and on it.
This baby can go 10 miles an hour.
And Rumi is driving because she doesn't trust anybody else to drive.
3 motorcycles followed by the world's tackiest van.
Yes.
Priscilla rushes into the lab. Several dog catchers follow her closely with nets filled with robopets of all shapes and sizes. Bad news, she pants. The dog catchers make their way to Zebulon's table. Zebulon himself still does not budge at Priscilla's presence, only reaching over to take the robopets he's given. We managed to claim quite a few of the artificials, but the Rangers found us almost immediately. Great job, Priscilla, Ram chirps. We can discuss my failures later, Ram. We made a getaway, but one of our vans lost a tire. They will find us. Let them! A voice booms from the staircase. A man whose muscles press through his cloak and cape descends, pushing his way past some dog catchers. It doesn't matter how good their armor is. I can defeat them all! That's not the problem, Barrack. If we're compromised at all before the operation is complete, we have to uproot the whole thing. I do recall, Zebulon interrupts, saying the puzzle was nearly complete. Priscilla stares in awe. Then, the mutation is ready? Give it half an hour, Zebulon continues. I won't be able to test this as much as I'd like, but it should be finished. Ha! Then that's perfect! And I happen to have the perfect distraction to ensure none of us get our hands dirty. Priscilla punctuates with a snap of her fingers. More dog catchers enter, but these grunts are escorting a tied-up Louise. Yeesh! I know it's winter, but do you really need this many rags? Ram pokes at Louise, who tries to thrash him away. How dare you! My outfit is the very essence of style! Yes, whatever. Priscilla rolls her eyes. I'm more interested in that mascot you had fight for you. Tell me, how quickly can you make those puppets, and just how strong are they? I made a whole bunch last night, and quantity over quality then? Ram interrupts. Absolutely not. I could make something super strong right now. Good, Priscilla smiles. Then I have a commission for you. Louise's eyes light up. You're actually going to pay me? Ha! Ram shoves Louise to Priscilla, who takes the end of the rope and starts to lead Louise out of the room. You'll be paid an exposure, Rags. Have fun! And as Louise is dragged from the room, Zebulon continues his work despite the sounds of growling and laughing drowning the room.
Alright, so we cut away from that. You wind up at a weird warehouse. This is where the van's parked. You go in, and there's just a whole lot of nothing.
Hey, Rumi.
Yes?
Do you think Inuyasha is an isekai?
It absolutely is.
Okay.
Kid looks up.
And then they
She has an essay prepared.
In this essay, I will.
And, of course, hearing your argument, several mooks just crop up.
Nobody disagreed. It's not an argument.
They like working together, they just keep happening to show up in the same spot.
Alright, and actually, now, why am I putting these pugs down? You're probably pre-transformed, you're ready for action, and I'm not gonna make you spend tokens.
Okay, it's time for the dance sequence. The music starts, it's a dance battle. Unless I'm not.
Joking, unless you're into it.
Haha, JK unless.
Once the mooks appear, you also hear somebody say, what is it now? Hey, what's with you guys?
Hey,
Where are they?
Isekai?
What's in Inuyasha? Actually, to be honest, this guy probably knows what Inuyasha is. Hell yeah, it's an isekai.
I'm so sorry, I'm not being serious this session.
Well, I guess the dice know what toy is going to sell the most because they get the sword again.
2. Sword.
I point my sword at him. Where are they?
Oy. So, you're all here, you got the weirdo costumes. Hey! You're Dice Rider, ain't ya? Fancy seeing you here.
He's not answering the question. I get in the van and hit the gas and try to run him over.
Shit!
I rev up my motorcycle. You have to do that. By the way, I look out what you say.
I'm just playing agile fight technique as I drift the van into this group of mooks in the sky.
Amazing.
Oh god. Yeah, you're just taking out mooks left and right. Van's useful for something.
He's not talking. Negotiations failed.
Diplomacy has failed.
You failed wonderful once.
It's treason then.
The man just leaps up to higher ledges and like, geez, these guys are aggro. Hey, Rags, I'm gonna need some of those dudes you got. And he goes to the back and you just hear Luis go,
Why do I have to be on Buckeye? I like these guys. Yeah, they always killed one of my guys. I don't want... Okay.
and then Luis comes out and he's like, guess I gotta fight at the front lines or whatever.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry.
You're sorry. You're the guy who cut Chief Mischief in half. I was real... That guy was gonna be a modern-day Noid. I was gonna sell him to, the Pizza Hut, I guess?
Just so you know, that was a co-op. Like, that wasn't just me. I was not solely responsible for that. But also,
50% mad at you.
I want our friends back. But second, do you think Nightmare on Elm Street is an isekai?
I mean, obvious. Like, are we throwing him softballs now?
That's just the dream world, though. They don't go to an actual different like, come on. Within the framework, they're in a dream that could technically happen in the world they've set up.
Yeah, I don't think it is either, actually. I say it as I get out of the van.
Anyway, I guess I'm working for these guys now, because apparently content creators nowadays have to just bow to whatever the guys with money, or... She just looks around. I actually don't know what these guys have other than force, but if this is gonna work, it's gonna work. So I guess these mascots will have to do Milkshake Duck, Imitation Crab, fucking get 'em.
I'm so upset.
I love Milkshake Duck.
I love Milkshake
That
Duck.
makes me
Oh,
look
he
good.
doesn't do anything problematic.
I have some bad news
No!
about Milkshake Duck.
We gotta be careful. We have to beat up Milkshake Duck before he says the N-word. So I'm gonna rush over to him immediately.
I was going to say play details. I need to keep this movie PG-13 and rush this Milkshake Duck.
Han, who has been the fourth wall-breaking character this entire episode, says, quick, we have to beat him up before he says the N-word, and rushes Milkshake Duck.
Just tackle him.
Raiders.
The milkshake goes flying.
He's holding his beak shut. No! Okay, sorry.
I do have the heavy turn. Devise the proper tool for the job, so I want to take one of the pieces of rebar lying around and bend it around Milkshake Duck's beak
Yeah.
as an impromptu muzzle.
Yeah. Han's holding him in place so you can get the bar around him.
Alright, I've spent the token to do that.
Yeah.
So,
Alright, so Milkshake Duck is being hassled. What about Imitation Crab? He dives towards Rumi with the strength of a lobster pretending to be a crab, which I don't know if that means it's trying to be tougher than it is or weaker. Either way, it's got claws.
Crabs have more powerful pinches than lobsters do. Like, based on their relative size.
It's also got, like, knives duct taped to its claws.
Alright. Oh no! Crab battle. I am going to use my speed of vault over it so it does not nip me and land on its back, where it cannot get to me, because crabs can't reach their backs like that. They don't have they can't ambulate their limbs that way.
They don't have the reach and the flexibility, yeah.
Yeah.
Thankfully, neither do lobsters, so it's just it tries to pick something up and hit you with it, except it's trying that as though you were on its back. It doesn't throw it. It's just trying real hard to get you.
Haha.
Kitsuki, Rumi has opened up a perfect opportunity to get at this guy.
Shuck that crab.
Do what to that crab?
Shuck it.
Okay, it took me a second there.
Please don't fuck the crab.
I'm not gonna do that. I'm
I
gonna
would
do
be
the other
so
thing.
elated if I'm not the horny one this time.
No. I'm sorry, like, I'm really sorry, like, you said that, like, I was swallowing a saltine cracker, like, choked on it slightly, and, like, what?
I've never been horny in my life. Never shall I horny.
Shuck! I said shuck with an S!
Okay, then I'm gonna do that. I'm just gonna do the display, regular turn display impressive fighting technique to get at this thing while it's weak.
You're just sorting it. It's trying to deflect it with its claws, but you're
I'm sorry, crab, but it's time to get steamed.
Thought you said we were having steamed crab.
No, it's all the expression.
Seeing that you've got both mascots kind of on the ropes now, he's just like, oh, come on! I worked like an entire night per mascot!
you should have spent more time. Think you can make a mascot costume in a night?
Everyone's always like, oh, I spent some time with my mascot. Well, I'm sorry, make it good next time?
If it takes me an entire night to make a mascot, it should take you an entire night to fight the mascot. Come on!
It's
Like,
not how this
have you ever
works.
like looked at a piece of art?
So here's the thing. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about distribution of labor. You are a single person making a mascot. We are 6 people fighting the mascot. Thus, it takes less time because of our productivity is increased. If you read some marks, you would understand this.
Oh, I get you. I just have to make 6 mascots then. That's my problem.
Yes, and if you get 9 women pregnant, they can have 1 baby in 1 month. I want to just dump slap Louise. Not to like hurt her, just like, come on.
So, like, 60
That's
mascots?
how it works.
I guess... Fucking... Man. These mascots really aren't doing much. Luis is very much infuriated by all this. Do you want to go for the kill on one of these mascots?
I mean, yeah, we should get rid of these mascots, but I don't know who wants to do it.
Milkshake Duck is... Milkshake Duck's still got their wings. They do a dab and look around the room and shrug, like, eh? Eh?
Dice just runs up and stabs it. I want Dice Rider to like slash it in half and then do a Fortnite dance over the explosion. This is how you mean Milkshake Duck.
Milkshake Duck really didn't have much in terms of combat abilities. It's like somebody tried to make a duck fight. Like, why would you do that? It's just a duck with
normal ass duck.
Imitation Crab, however, is a little more suited for battle. However, it's currently slashing at Kitsuki, And now it's once again open from the back.
Alright, I want to once again devise the proper tool for the job. I want to toss my sword to Kitsugi and just yell, "Hey, Red, catch!"
I definitely jump off of the the crab shell to like catch it in midair.
Alright, and now you get to
Use
do
both-
whatever to
use
this crab.
both
I guess,
swords.
yeah.
No, hear me out. Use both swords like it's a crab cracker, and crack this fucking lobster open.
Yes.
Oh hell yes, exactly.
You go
It has
in.
its own attack. It's just the announcer just yells, "Crab break!"
Oh, enemy crab.
The lobster shell breaks, and it is now nude. And of course, the crab mask goes flying off with it.
Looks like we're into some bisky business. Get it? Lobster bisque, thank you for laughing.
Oh my god.
Midori high fives you, despite everything.
They're bonding.
I don't know how I feel about the new Han. I may have liked him better when he was a jackass.
Well, he's still a jackass. He's just a different kind of jackass now.
He's just an insufferable jerk now. It's fine.
So
Does that take out Imitation Crab?
yeah, Rumi, you should probably do the job because you're behind Imitation Crab. It's doing the classic, holding its claws over it. Well, I don't think lobsters have a groin, but it's holding it down there and blushing. 'cause
Yeah,
of course
so now that its hard carapace has been removed, I leap up and just come down with a spear and just spear it right through.
and it explodes. It smells
I
of
think
crab.
it would be cool if like we have a little bit of budget left, so it turns like black and white, and the impalement is like a silhouette, like a completely different art style, right?
Well,
And
yeah,
then
it's a movie. We have
yeah.
a big bunch of the movie.
And then it flashes back to normal.
And Luis is just there like, okay, well, that didn't go well. However, I'll bet you didn't know the tools I got from eBay also had a few other tools that I didn't structure that sentence properly. Regardless, and she takes out a needle and she throws it at the corpse of Imitation Crab. However, it shrinks.
I stomp it.
Oh, I don't think
The
that was...
camera, camera angle goes, so you're stomping on the camera for the horny people in the audience.
Oh, absolutely.
I want the secondary rise to just tackle Luis to the ground now. Just stop it! They haven't done anything the whole fight.
They've been doing things. It's just in the background.
They've been
But don't
fighting
worry.
mooks in the background.
Yeah, they've been keeping the mooks away.
I think Coin Rider just fucking flips the coin up in the air, keeps it to his fist, and then just pushes her into a barrel. Kicks her, rolls her down the hall. Right. I guess... Is that like the worst they have to offer? Because I don't think
You just... No, now you've triggered it getting worse. Thank you.
Well, I mean, what I have to say doesn't have to do with anything. I'm just saying, like, if things are gonna get worse, they'll get worse by default.
Wait, why did we just kick her away? We'd ask her where everyone else went.
It's not a huge warehouse, so, like, let's just keep going this way. And so the camera cuts down, these guys are in the lab, and then a barrel just fucking comes rolling in. Oh god. Okay. Bad news, everyone. Didn't last super long. The man at the counter is just like, that's fine. I've actually put the finishing touches on this. And the camera pans down to an artificial that looks like, not like a full-sized horse, but like it's bigger than the normal artificials.
Oh, dang.
Alright. Yeah, so we don't have long to test this, huh? Says the fucking weird smirking dude. And it's about that time when you run in. You enter the room and the lab is just strewn with like artificials that just look like really weird animals. There's a whole lot of artificials that you haven't seen for sale. A lot of exotic ones strewn about everywhere.
What have you done? What have you done?
Well, you see, there's a certain function now.
It's just monologue, right? Everybody?
Let me get like 2 sentences.
Okay, sorry. Continue.
Let him actually answer the question and then.
Well, I suppose if you're not going to let me finish 2 sentences, I'll just do a run-on. These artificials have a particular ability. However, it's difficult to trigger one that is particularly effective, you know? However, through experimentation, I believe I've found exactly what we need to enact our plan. Rags off to the side, if you would. And Louis steps to the side, and all these people line up. We are from the Final Ride gang. However, we have so much more in store than merely being errand boys for some rich man. We're going to bring about the end. And he presses down on the horse artificial, and it sort of floats up in the air, and then separates into, like, smaller horses that float in front of the other 4 of them. You see sparks flying everywhere through the lab.
War, famine, plague, death.
And
Steven?
Yep. And they all transform.
Fucked up.
So, basically, they all have very similar designs. They're, like, incomplete, basically. There are patches of armor on them, but there's also a lot of, like, exposed wires. War, to the far left, is red, and he's just got a big ol' sword. Famine is fairly gaunt, black-colored armor. They just got she's got an entire fucking ball and chain. Plague is just bone white and has a bow. The last one, Death, doesn't actually have a weapon at the moment.
So anyways, we're absolutely giving kids nightmares with this movie, right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Look at this shit.
Just like the lighting, get all like dark and like foreboding and shit in here when this happens.
Oh yeah.
Music changes abruptly.
Look, the 2 Kamen Rider movies I watched had just fucking scenes of people getting shot, so, you know,
I can't believe Kamen Rider pushed his fist through a guy!
I just came to the conclusion from 2 points that all Kamen Rider movies are supposed to scar children for life. Now then, who are you to stand in our way?
I didn't think we came up with a team name for ourselves. Kitsuki, you're the leader. What's our team name?
Don't put her on the spot.
This is just the game where you put me on the spot.
We didn't know they're all what teams. Why would we have a team
I
name if they know the teams?
I literally thought, yeah, like, that's the thing. Like, I was literally thinking that earlier. It's like, if there are other teams, we have to have one now. I mean, can we just, I don't know, Pet Squad? I'm bad at things. Don't let me have ideas.
We are the Petscop.
Oh my god. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. If you're gonna put it on me, then yes, we're Petscop now.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
Ward's gonna charge forward at you, because he's already tired of waiting.
Who is you?
Bye.
Okay, yeah.
So yeah,
That was the obvious one.
War just flies forward and is just one-handing a great sword. What do you do?
Well, Han's got 2 commas, and he'll pull out his commas, and he so rarely uses them because he really likes his fists. But he's gonna, like, catch the sword with the 2 commas, like they're scissor blades, and, like, push back up at it and glare War in the face with, like, gritted teeth. And, like, they'll be doing, like, that back and forth, like, match A struggle, right? I'm going to frighten another with an impressive feat, which is a light turn, which will activate a hard reaction from you, a heavy turn reaction from you. So,
Yep.
Han is actually going to, I hope, I mean, you have to frighten the other characters. Like, Han, like, is more powerful, clearly more powerful than War, right? Like, it starts looking like he actually starts to push War's sword back towards War's face.
Mm-hmm.
and just like completely overpowers War. But since he's so completely focused on War, it means like another of the Horsemen can come over and kick his ass.
So I'm gonna say scaring something else usually refers to like the other players because that's more of the inconvenience. So I think the other riders being unfamiliar with that start to back off.
Yeah.
Because it looks like you're winning, so they're just gonna turn their attention elsewhere. Except when you start pushing forward, War's gonna punch you in the gut and then drive you backwards and just throw you into, we'll say, Coin Rider. Next, hey, I've got a character here with a bow, and we've got a flying type character. Hey, Rumi, Plague's gonna start taking pot shots at you.
Oh no. Well, I'm going to take my life. I'm going to doubt myself for taking definitive action as I start deflecting these. Like, what's it doing? Like, how's it taking pot? What's it, like, shooting me?
Yeah, so, I think basically he's shooting you, and, this is just a kid show, physics be damned. He can take really quick shot, barely pulling the bowstring back, but, like, his arms are just sort of, like, dislocating a bit in order to fire, so he's just...
It's, like,
wildly
unsettling. So I think what happened is I started deflecting these arrows, like, with my spear, and at first looks like I'm doing okay, but, like, it becomes increasingly obvious very quickly that, like, I'm getting him, like, by the skin of my teeth every time more and more until I can't keep up anymore. Even though I'm so fast.
Yeah, I think he just clips you with one, and then Famine just, like, nails you with the ball and chain on the way down.
Ugh, in the stomach, I flash back door.
Don't forget that sexy uniform damage.
Famine also, I guess, just goes after the rock, paper, scissors rider. Gets taken out as well.
Oh no.
Alright, so my turn is I'm going to fail to react effectively. You said Famine had a ball and chain, right? They're going to hold the chain with one, and they're going to grab the ball part in their other hand and just sort of like aim it at me. And Clay goes, "Alright, I'll have to watch carefully to make sure I know how to dodge this." And they just and Famine barely pushes their hand forward, the ball goes flying out at like supersonic speeds and just smashes into Dice's helmet, knocking him to the ground. And then they do that multiple times, increasingly quickly. I get aura'd by this ball and chain.
Dang on. So yeah, I feel like everybody else is like trying to get back up and gain ground, but then War's just fucking swinging him over. Midori probably also gets owned as well. And then lastly, Katsuki, you see the guy in the back just leaning back a little, arms crossed, looking fairly unimpressed with this whole display. And he seems like he's someone you might want to challenge. I mean, just from knowing your character.
You mean this guy is in the back acting like he's too good for this?
Yeah.
That pisses me off. Hey, you!
What do you want?
She doesn't even answer. She just wanted to get his attention so you can see when she jumped at him. Fuck you! So not that.
Alright. Let's see. Which turn are you using?
I think I'm gonna. This is gonna be a display impressive fighting technique.
Alright.
Actually, no, I'm sorry. This is gonna be trying to prove yourself to another. I'm not impressed by the fact that this guy's unimpressed, and I'm gonna prove to him that, like, there's good reason for him to actually pay attention.
You are slashing, and you're actually hitting him, and you're like tearing at his already torn cloak a bit. He's dodging a little bit so you don't hit anything vital, but he doesn't particularly seem phased by it. But he is like,
You know how to use that thing quite well. So, what did you call yourselves again? No, it doesn't particularly matter now, does it?
and then you see a portal open up behind him, and a skeletal hand just fucking thrusts itself towards your face. What do?
I think the correct answer is to move away from the hand.
I think it grabs you, because you have to get wrecked.
Yep.
So,
yourself getting wrecked.
So yeah, probably let your temper cloud your judgment, so that's tokenable. The skeletal hand grabs you, you get pulled into the portal in the back, you disappear for a few seconds, and then you just get launched into, like, a big group of the other Rangers. Just everybody goes tumbling down. Death looks around and goes, "It looks like this experiment was a success. Now then, Rags, did you complete that project we gave you?" She's just like, yes. And he looks over at you, Clay. You have been...
Why?
You're Dice Rider, aren't you?
Oh.
We never...
Amazing.
You got the wrong guy. Prove otherwise.
Well, you're more correct than you might think.
And then he reaches his arm out, and there's just a tiny little switch in his hand. It has a face on it, because it's also a mascot. All of the 4 horsemen pull it out, as does Luis, and they all press it. And the voice narrator says,
Kill switch.
and as you try to stand back up, you suddenly feel yourself pass out.
Don't like that.
You feel breathless, and you realize that your heart stopped.
Oh no.
Oh no.
What?
And so Dice Rider falls over, and a lot of them just look around and they're like,
Well, that was a minor inconvenience, I suppose. Well then, shall we find an appropriate spot?
and War nods and just jaunts out of the room. And all of the 4 horsemen follow him out.
Well, can't
Louis
believe
almost
that Stephanie killed her boyfriend.
The owl enters the battle-torn warehouse and surveys the damage. They grunt in disapproval, knowing the usual suspects must have been involved. Just then, slow but numerous footsteps eliminate the silence as the 4 horsemen, still clad in their battle armors, rise to the room.
Who are you supposed to be?
The owl asks tiredly. We should ask you the same thing, Ram spits. I thought there were only 4 rangers.
You've met that lot already. Then you should know I am not one of them. You may call me Fledgling Owl. I'm here to clean whatever mess they've made today.
Priscilla bursts out laughing as they finish speaking. Clean their mess? What an apt way to put it. If that's all you're here for, then you can go downstairs and scrape them from the floor. The 4 horsemen start to leave, but the owl sidesteps to bar their way.
I wouldn't say that. You unsightly lot seem even less trustworthy. I can't let you go unless I can ascertain you're no longer a threat. We can start with...
Owl turns to see Louise obscured by the imposing figures, but still visibly bound.
letting that one go.
So disappointing. Zebulon shakes his head. And here I thought you wouldn't be a nuisance. Without signal, Plague fires an arrow at unseen speed straight into Zebulon's hell portal. The portal swallows itself, then instantly explodes behind Owl. The arrows pierce through Owl at Mach speed, leaving shadowy wisps in its trail. For a moment, it seems Owl is frozen in time, but in the blink of an eye they go flying into broken-down machinery and explode. The 4 horsemen don't bother checking their target. With no other obstacles, they break transformation and continue on their way.
Alright, so you will all keep the 1 token you got from last time for getting your asses kicked, so everyone's got 1 except Clay, who has 2 and is dead.
I love being rewarded for getting my ass kicked.
Well, this is the game for you.
Yes.
So, Clay is currently on the ground. Of course, his friends immediately run over and check on him. And Takara is like, okay, good news, bad news. His heart seems to be beating. He's not breathing. You need CPR.
What?
We just took out a life insurance policy.
Wait, how do you have one and not the other?
Okay,
No.
I pushed someone out of the way and started doing CPR because like all y'all are useless.
Of course, your character knows CPR.
I am actually going to spend a token on this to address an immediate problem with the level head, and I'm gonna do CPR.
Okay. You know, it's good that you did this because you're probably the only one trained. I feel like on the TV version, it just flashes up on screen like, please don't actually attempt CPR unless you know what you're doing, like Rumi.
To a class.
No, seriously, you need the class to do this.
It's important.
Yeah, Rumi has certification. She's the health officer at our school. Han's just like, man, people are going to be shipping this. Here it comes to shipping. Good job, Rumi. I mean, really good job, but also not good job.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a lot more breaths and a lot less chest compressions nowadays. I haven't taken the class in a while, but I was certified once when I was but a Boy Scout.
Once upon a time.
Yep, back in the day.
So yes, you managed to revive Clay. Clay, you live again. Any reactions?
Go fuck off, let me die.
Well, you're welcome.
I don't want to fight them. God, we weren't holding back or anything. We got absolutely wrecked.
Well, we just need a plan then.
Right,
Okay.
a plan. Question one is...
Those aren't hard, right?
We don't particularly know much about these guys. That's going to be a problem.
I mean, we can research them. I mean, the thing is,
we could look in the Bible.
I'm sure there's a weakness. We just have to find it. We have to get our type advantage against them. And also,
well,
I know this is a weird thing coming from me, Clay, but I've had some character development. And look, people don't drown when they fall in the water. They drown when they don't get out. So just because we got owned doesn't mean we can't get back up and fight and maybe not get owned as hard next time. Thanhanks.
Perhaps we can be the ones doing the owning.
I mean, that would own.
That would own.
While Clay is being pep talked at, he is going to be looking around this apparent lab that they're. If there's anything that, see if we can figure out what they were trying to do besides.
They just left their
Steel
computers
Ranger
out.
powers.
I mean, let's take a look at these. I'm gonna play Minesweeper, and you actually do something useful.
I slap your hand as you go to touch the mouse. Let me look at it.
Do you want to do a particular move?
I'm going to once again reveal a hidden talent of passion and hack this computer.
I'm in.
Can't believe this computer doesn't have Minesweeper.
Alright, so, this is just a regular turn, so it's not too difficult to crack. However, the information you get is mostly incomprehensible to you because it's just a whole lot of equations and, like, notes that would make sense to one person, but nobody else. However, you do notice that there are a lot of mentions of artificials and, like, artificial programming and armor and the like.
Yes, I put all these files in the email and I send to Ark. No message. He can figure it out.
Just completely unprompted.
I'm sure if he needs more information, he'll call us. It's fine.
You're gonna get a call from him. Ruby, I think I'm being extorted, but I don't know how or why.
Did somebody hijack your account, Rumi?
I was gonna say, would you have sent it from your email account? Like, you're not gonna log into your email account on this computer, right?
I imagine. Okay, I will include a message to explain what this is, but it'll probably be from like one of those burner email websites, because you can just log into those. And I'm like, just email me back at my normal email.
Alright, does anybody else want to do anything in here?
I'm hanging out with Kit. I'm vaping.
I also have a regular turn, try to pinpoint an adversary's weakness.
Yeah.
So I wonder if I can find any, like, is there a prototype of that horse that, like, works worse? That might give me an idea of something they couldn't fix in the working version.
So,
is there a blanket in the corner? Do I uncover it and there's a mechanical horse head?
There's probably not much you can figure out from the notes Rumi found, You notice a few maps of this town, each with 4 different marks at different locations. The notes accompanying each map are copious and indecipherable at a glance. Nothing about this tells you any weaknesses though, and as you turn your attention to the rest of the room, you can see these weird exotic artificials. You would not know that these aren't normally for sale because you're not the one who sells them. But from the way everything is strewn about the room and how everything's disorderly, it seems most of the experimentation here is recent. This is just a guess, but while you don't know exactly what these guys can do, it looks like they only finished this horse, so they probably don't either.
You know, in some ways that's more disheartening. Because they're only going to get more acquainted, they're not going to get less acquainted.
Oh no, they're going to use
I guess this means we better act fast, or they get even stronger.
And one more note, you did pick this up earlier, but when they transformed, there was only one horse that had to split into 4, so you get the impression that the leader is pretty much responsible for their ability to transform. And so, apart, you might be able to fight them at a more even level.
I couldn't really tell which one the leader was because they weren't wearing red.
Well, one was, I believe that was War? Yeah, War. Which, to be fair, you could just assume that War was their leader.
Okay.
The dude who did most of the monologuing looked to be the leader, but they weren't wearing red. It's very confusing.
I can't really see a light turn you could use to confuse the issue, so...
I'm interfering with a reliable course of action by just being produce the leader.
Alright, I trust you to play that up in the future, so... your lack of knowing the leader will get you a token.
Thank you. I promise I'll fuck it up later. It'll be...
So that's the conclusion we reach at this scene. We gotta focus on the leader. Now, who is the leader? Huh?
Yeah.
We'll have to figure that out as we're going forward.
That's all. Nobody else has any things to do here?
Do you want to do anything helpful instead of me being an ass?
I feel like if I do anything, it's just going to be me contributing.
It's Han and Kit
honestly.
just trying our best to not fuck this up for the competent people.
Look, I'm very straightforward. I tried the thing I was good at, and I got my ass kicked. So...
Everyone's feeling pretty down.
Yeah, like, obviously, I don't know why people were sticking around, because I don't know what to do. I tried my thing and it sucked.
Just anything left that was ours, just throw in a bag or something. I guess grab that gun on that table right there, by that beaker.
You know that last apple?
The thing is, when Fefner makes the actual videos and posts them, we don't see the image, so nobody listening to the actual videos is gonna know there's a gun in this screenshot.
That was a joke for me, though.
Yeah.
We know they were looking for artificials. We don't know if they'll need more, but right now that's their only lead, so I think our best bet would be don't let Ark send out any more artificials from this store.
Alright.
And also, we maybe should free the artificials they currently have, because they brought them here, right? And I didn't see them take them out, so they
They use them.
Yeah, they are actually
gone. Oh, there's some left?
I said they are gone. There are a few scattered ones that are weird breeds, but you wouldn't really know those. Those definitely weren't delivered. Alright, so you leave the lab, and as you're going along, you eventually see a TV, and we change scenes to the center of town.
While everyone around the Rangers are a bit confused as to what's going on with the television, the scene you see is mostly calm. People walk by, at most glancing at the camera with some confusion. However, a voice suddenly bellows from the rooftops, and everyone looks up to see the 4 horsemen, without their armor, standing above the crowd. The camera too pans upwards, though the way it moves implies it's moving on its own instead of by human hands. "People of Lafayette," Zebulon shouts. "Well, I suppose the camera's on us, so I should address all of humanity. We are the four horsemen. For too long now, humanity has sinned. Again and again, even as we scrape and claw and try to fix ourselves, the worst of us still steer our species through filth. The earth shall abide us no longer, and so we have taken it upon ourselves to usher in a new era. Lafayette, the heart of Meiji, shall serve as the beginning of the end. In merely the space of this city, we can create the catastrophe that will end the human race and begin a new, more peaceful civilization. War, do the honors. Varric steps forward and dons his armor, then slams his fist into his other palm. An orb of energy emanates from the contact, enveloping the nearby area. It is then that the crowd notices the artificials peppering the town square, but it is too late. Everyone caught in the orb is forcibly transformed with the nearby artificials, and those not close enough to be absorbed by the Robopets are instead turned into dog catchers.
So this is like a fucking like Akira, like energy orb just expanding out from the central point.
Yep, and
oh no!
These new artificial armors, which resemble the patchwork designs of the four horsemen armors, immediately begin fighting the dog catchers. The four horsemen leave the scene amidst the chaos, but the orb Warhead created does not disappear. Although it is now moving slower than it had when it was first created, it continues expanding outwards and shows no signs of stopping. The feed you're viewing then cuts out.
That's not great.
Well, we better go deal with that. Let's go.
So we want to regroup. I think we're not going to be able to do that. Alright, so, right. Planning time. Who did you say you wanted to see Ark?
Yeah, he's the artificial guy.
Alright, well, I think some of you should go deal with that. Clay, you and I should continue what we were going to do before and track down Hammond's casino. And then he points to Hun and Midori and says, the two of you come along. We might need a little extra muscle. The rest of you...
How is this going to address the people like this bullshit? What does this casino have anything to do with this?
We know a man who knows about the Final Riders.
Mm-hmm.
These guys are from the Final Riders. They defected some time ago. And the fact that Hammond Roller just decided to build a casino here says to me that he might know something about them.
Okay.
So if we... Right, so... We'll get info on them.
Trade information so you can just text us. So we'll put them in like a separate group chat because I don't want them in our main group chat. I'm not even in our main group chat yet. And send them on their way with whoever.
No, it's okay. Go with them. Me and Kit will go to see Ark.
Kay's like, I guess I'll tag along too. And you scatter.
Who am I going
we
with
get
again?
well. Me and Kit get in the van.
Yeah.
And we drive back.
Yeah, because I can actually drive. Maybe.
And right now it's chaos. You can drive as fast as you want.
Yep.
No one can stop me now.
And yeah,
you had an insurance policy on the van, right?
The van is fine. I only ran some guys over with it.
It'll buff out. It's good. And
Hey,
yeah,
does respondeat superior mean anything to you?
and yeah, everybody else has motorcycles except Han, but you know he can just ride on the back of one, so it's good. It's fine.
It's fine.
We know who most is on the back of him. I mean, it's very obvious.
So,
No, it's
So-
obvious whose motorcycle is he on the back of.
I mean, technically speaking, both of them are boys, so
True.
he's got pre-pick. Oh, Midori's also there, so I guess she'll go on the other one.
We're still not
Quick test.
on his pick.
Who does Han think is hotter?
Yeah,
Probably Clay.
Who's hotter? Probably Clay. Sorry.
Okay, well, on our team, what's going wrong when we get here?
Oh, I mean, everything. Like, there were a lot of people in this mall. They've all transformed by now, though, oddly enough, you in your untransformed states aren't really getting bothered at all. It's a bit of a pain to actually get through the crowd to get to Pet Spy, though.
Yep. Coming through. Watch out. Excuse me. Yeah, just keep doing what you do. It's fine.
Just horrible screeching and dog catcher sounds.
The dog catcher sound.
The problem with trying to think up of a mook noise is I'll just go with the Podamen noise from Lupat. mook noise I know more than any other. Well, technically speaking, there is also the high-pitched squeals of the original villains in Showa-era Kamen Riders. But
high-pitched grunts of effort as they try to like hit people with their nets is probably how we're going with this. But anyway.
So you two get to Pet Spy, and the door is like hastily barred. So like you just sort of push on it a bit, and any barricade that Ark put up just goes down.
I just yell, Ark, did you get that thing I sent you?
I guess. I got the thing you sent me, and then all of that happens, and he just motions outside.
Yeah, it's bad.
What's even going on?
Can we just start wipe as we explain what's going on? The people who watched the movie already saw this. They don't need me to tell them again.
Okay, so this is bad. First things first, this is completely unprecedented. I really doubt everybody in the city is compatible with artificials. If they were, we would have figured that out already. Okay, I'm looking over the documents you sent me. I don't quite get what they're going for here, but I think... And he brings out some other documents. I think somebody's been undercutting the deliveries? All of these deliveries... Look, right here. So, this month, I apparently asked for a delivery of 3 cats, which seems weird, because I probably would have asked for 5. I wouldn't have really, paid attention to that before now, because, it says 3 on the delivery. I kind of just would have figured that's what I put, and then maybe I forgot what I originally put. But looking over these documents, I'm seeing a lot of schematics for cat robopets, and, I have to wonder where they would have gotten these. So, I think someone on delivery has kind of been hoisting me for a while now.
So you've been paying these invoices where you have me getting everything? I grab Mark and I shake him. That's not how you run a store! You're losing inventory, shrink!
I thought I wasn't losing inventory, that's the thing!
How are we still solving?
Well, you make insane margins.
The margins are good, but point is, it seems like these guys might have had somebody on the inside from the get-go, and they've been working on this for a while. The best I can understand it is they're trying to force some kind of mutation in the Robopets.
Oh, I look at the TV. I think they did it.
Yeah. Just then, you hear a crash somewhere else from the store, but for the time being, we cut over to the casino. You all enter, and just right at one of the tables, you see a very large bearded man. He turns around and says, "If it isn't Clay!"
Alright, look, I don't have time for any of this. What's going on? What are those people you let go even doing?
He just motions for y'all to sit and says, "I figured you'd ask something along those lines. I came here looking for those guys as well. The final riders usually do good work for me, but these 4, can't really say I appreciated the sudden disappearance, especially since they stole a sizable bit of funds and even a few grunts as well. Put operations on hold for a bit, that's for sure."
Wow, nobody in this universe checks inventory.
Oh, I checked inventory, but they were long
Everything
gone.
goes missing.
It's more fun if it's a surprise,
So, I believe they said their names are the 4 Horsemen, right? These 4, and he takes out 4 photographs and puts them on the table. He points to the one with the very muscular man. Right, first up is Barrick. You can pick him out of the crowd easily. He's the guy with enough muscle to throw you all the way around the planet. But he's more the type to just beat you into a pulp. Didn't actually last long in the gang, though. Media might tell you otherwise, but gangs really don't like it when bodies start to pile up. It ain't good for the image.
I'm glad to hear that.
He then points to the second picture with a fairly burly woman, even if she doesn't quite compare to Barrack. This here's Priscilla. Weapons master she is. One moment she's sniping you, the next she's caving your guts in with brass knuckles.
Alright, that's bullshit. We all know snipers are not trained in hand-to-hand combat. You just have to kick their sniper rifle out of their hands.
That's why she's so dangerous.
Oh, wow.
She's finally surpassed the weakness of all snipers.
Yeah, okay, cool. Next one.
Muscle guy is War. Bear
Yep.
is War. Who's Swole Lady?
That's Famine.
Okay, keep going.
Then there's Ram. Depending on who you ask, he's either the youngest member of the Final Riders or the oldest one with good skin. But either way, he's a creep. He doesn't take much seriously, and no one particularly likes him. Pretty good driver, though. He is Plague. And the last guy is Zebulon. Don't know a damn thing about the guy. Did his job efficiently, took his pay, and went home. Couldn't find a thing about him outside his work with the bikers. And anything he might have provided wound up being fake. So, yeah. Bad background check, then he disappears on me. Didn't care for that, and now he's doing this whole thing. Extra bad for business, I'd say.
You don't know anything about what they're doing right now. You don't know how to stop it, and you don't know what might be going wrong with it right now.
Oh, well, I know what's going wrong. Anybody who doesn't have any sort of transformation seems like they're not doing too well. Well, any transformation, and also a very expensive casino like this one. Now, safe spots like this, uncommon, and probably won't hold out forever. Now, I did notice that they seem to be projecting large spheres of, I don't know, war. That's his whole deal, I guess. But they didn't all go at once, which suggests that they need time to do whatever it is they're doing.
Do they have any weaknesses, each of these losers?
I don't know, try stabbing
I
him.
already asked him for that. He wouldn't give it to me.
You know, you think that stabbing them would be the right plan, but I can tell you from experience that it occasionally doesn't work. Just feel like putting that in there.
Well, I've got an idea, actually. And he takes out a map of the city, and he points to the casino. Well, where the casino would be, but this is a bit of an old map, but he's marked it right here. I believe this is where one of them will show up. They seem to need to activate their abilities. So, when one comes here, you can take care of them for me.
What do we get out of that? I mean, we will.
I'm not doing it for you.
Yeah.
What's in it for you is, I don't know, you wanted to take him out anyway, right? What's in it for me is they get out of my damn casino and don't ruin any more of my business than they already have.
That's not what he asked. He asked it for us, you self-centered god.
We want to stop his nonsense.
This is why I hate talking to you. You're always like this.
Well, that's the thing. I don't like working with you either, but you know, this is mutually beneficial. Yes, they're kind of trying to wipe out humanity, and as far as I know, we're all humans here, yes? So, it's in your
I don't have to answer that.
Why did no one say yes?
Saying yes would mean he's human, and billionaire casino owners aren't human.
It's got the rich person brain rot like they all do. You then hear a voice say, my ears were burning. Was somebody talking about me? And Priscilla enters the room. Well now, there's less of you than there were before.
Yeah, it was...
Still far too many. I was kind of hoping some of you would have been killed. Rags didn't do a good enough job, especially since you're still here, and she points to Clay. Didn't we target you, Ryder?
I'm going to take action, leaving myself vulnerable. I'm going to pick up the chair I'm sitting on and throw it at her. I came here to fight. You can exposit to move the plot forward later. I'm fighting.
She grabs the chair and starts to brandish it.
God
And
damn it, I just armed her.
we cut back to the mall where everybody has run out to see that the source of the noise was Barrick. He looks off you and says, where's the tough guy from before? I liked him.
Aw. I'm gonna send him, meet up on him with him on Grindr later. It'll be okay.
I look at Kit. He's not here.
That's a shame. Now, he looks around and he's clearly admiring his work. Looks as though you lot are resistant to this. So lucky for me, I came here. I heard about you lot. You're the PetRangers or whatever.
Are we? I look at Kit again.
You're rangers, you got a pet gimmick.
We said we were Pet Scop. I believe that was what we were deciding to call ourselves. Decided last session. Yeah.
I just decided, and more like someone made a joke, and because I was on the spot, I clung to it desperately.
Yeah.
But yes.
Well, now would be the perfect time for a callback where you just say, no, we're the pet scop.
Oh, right, I wasn't paying attention, though.
Uh,
Right, so here's how it's gonna work. You're all going down. And he just takes out his sword and he rushes at you.
Swords.
Action's kind of open because he's just running towards both of you, and he is a very large man with a very large sword. He could conceivably hit you both at the same time. Though I will mention, Jeff, you did use one of your tokens earlier, so you probably need a light turn.
Yeah. I'm gonna do as best someone that wouldn't agree, and I push our third friend there, who came with us,
Okay.
out of the way of this giant ass sword. So imagine
All right.
you want to fight, and I'm like, no, get out of here, get out of the swing.
Yeah, you push her out of the way, but you are in the exact position to get hit by a sword, untransformed. You are absolutely going flying, but congratulations, you have that good battle damage.
Oh no! Got a really sexy wound to my clothes, but not too sexy. This is PG-13.
Kit has a token, and now you have a token. I'm guessing you probably both want to transform, right?
I will let Kit go.
yeah, that seems like a good idea.
The Shining Fang leading the pack take off at lightning speeds.
Yellow
Ladies and
spray.
gentlemen, it's Triangle Rider. Mode Rochambeau.
You both transform, as does Kay. She transforms into Rochambeau Rider. I think he's just completely undaunted. He's just like, this didn't do anything before. Why do you expect us to do something for you now?
I don't have an answer for that.
I really don't have anything except that.
What? He's right.
Well,
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right, I say, as I charge anyway.
Kay just puts her hands on her hips and like, well, I guess we have more space in the mall? Alright, so, Kit, what action are you gonna take?
I think I'm going to head into danger without my squad. We only have 2 other people here, and I am just like in the middle of her talk. She was saying something, and I'm already like running ahead.
You rush in and do some sword slashes. I do think your, like frantic slashes probably drive him back out into the mall, because, we have that high budget, so we can actively use like the entire set for this one.
That fountain is not going to survive this encounter.
Oh, absolutely not. In fact, you just get right to the fountain. You're fighting around it. Kit, you're probably just like going for fast slashes, right? Or are you doing something else?
I think she leaps forward, like trying to do some kind of like super anime X slash kind of thing, and completely just overextends herself. She's out of like position, and like just brought in the open with no real guard, because she's put all of her effort into attacking first and fast and quickly as possible.
So, in your attack, you do like a cross slash, and like the fountain is like cut, the fountain head or whatever. However, your special attack does little against Barrick. and he then begins slashing, and like it goes in slow motion as like you see him cut you, and also the droplets of water spraying from the broken fountain. And at the end, he just like open palm slams you, and you go flying.
Just wrecked immediately.
All right. Oh, actually, Rumi has that raise that gets her a token at the start, doesn't she?
I do.
All right, so I should say that you do actually have a token. I forgot
frankly,
about
we all should have that by now. I don't know why we don't.
Because we refuse to raise. None of us. We all refuse to learn anything. It's the in-canon explanation. Rumi's the only one responsible enough to actually learn something.
What?
If you do it, if you make the same mistake over and over again, inevitably it will just work this time.
Okay. I have an idea that
All right.
is probably overkill for the situation. To fight this man, I am going to summon the mech and just have it like come through the ceiling on top of him.
Oh hell yeah! All right,
Yeah.
so yeah, you fucking summon your big bird. It just comes in. I think it's just gonna come in from like south side, so it's just gonna be covered in flannel shirts as it just rams him straight into the wall.
Yeah, I was thinking just like straight down through the roof.
That also works. You know, yeah, just there's probably a skylight, so like glass everywhere. You just see a shadow as it appears.
Topaz Osprey.
And as Barrick is smashed into the ground, we cut back to the casino, where Priscilla is currently just fighting everyone with a chair.
Dice Rider just took a turn, so I guess it's my turn to take a turn. I do have a token.
You do?
Well, first thing I need to do is transform. So I'm going to transform because Danger is here. And I'm not even going to bother to like do a fucking Clark Kent on this, you know?
I mean, there's really no one around who cares anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, Mr. Roller's here, but he doesn't give a damn. He's amused by the whole thing.
Yeah.
Black Pig.
So Clyde's gonna snap onto my calves and unroll to snap onto my whole body. And I'm in Black Ranger, yeah, I blow up my commas. And I'm going to, take action leaving myself vulnerable, I guess.
Alright.
A regular turn. So I'm going to move in and get between her and everybody else and try to draw her attack onto me with like a taunt, like I'm a tank, right? Be like, you know, that color looks terrible on you and you put way too much product in your hair and this is shameful. This is a shameful display. And she will obviously, you know, I'm drawing her in and swatting at her with my commas and telling her she's garbage. And hope that will draw her full attention onto me and leave her open for somebody else to get a good hit in on her. But also it's going to get my ass handed to me because she's trash.
Well, this is a regular turn, so works decently well. She's definitely distracted by you since you're actively fighting, but your comments don't really, like, infuriate her at all. In fact, at the hair comment, she's just like, I don't even use any product. And she just, like, fucking flips her hair. There's a sparkle.
Red and black, says the Ranger, also in red and black, is just so fucking edgy. It's really working for you.
I am also going to spend the token to transform.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Dice Coin Rider Ferrets.
Hey, I got 5.
Alright, what's the 5 weapon?
So for a 5, there's a line that goes from like one of the outer dots to the inner dot. Clay grabs that, and then the remaining 3 dots connect in a way that look like an axe blade.
Nice!
5. Axe.
And it is now an axe.
Hell yeah.
Nice. Since Priscilla is fighting Han with a chair,
Is she wearing pants or is she wearing a skirt? This is important.
Pants.
Okay, go on.
Han's got actual weapons, so like eventually she does lose the chair. However, then she leaps back and she just laughs and says, you know, a casino like this is full of weapons. it might not look like it, and then picks up a poker chip and throws it against the wall, and it rebounds repeatedly, and then ends up like going across a random. I think there's like dog catchers, not quite inside, but close enough that it would reach him, and it just passes that dog catcher's throat, and he just collapses before the poker chip bounces back to her.
Dang.
I can make just about anything deadly.
Yeah, whatever. Anyways.
Just killed that dude.
Yep.
Wow. On-screen violence. Dang.
It was like angled in such a way that like it was from behind, so you didn't see it, but it was heavily implied.
Extremely villainous move to kill somebody on screen, and your own lackey. Like, what a fucking trope. Okay.
I don't care about the dog catchers. It's the artificial we want to help.
Help. Oh, more of these PETA fuckers. You should have met the enemies in my episode. You would have gotten along so well. Are you gonna take a turn, Luca? Should I take another turn?
I already took my turn to transform.
Okay, so it's back to me again? Alright. I'm going to be like, when everything is a weapon, you don't know how to interact with things civilly and like see anything as anything else but a fight. I should know I was that way, and I'm gonna start like combating her face to face, and I'm gonna show her like this is worthless and you are weak. This is a sign of weakness, and I'm gonna take a beating like it's nothing, and she can go ahead and throw every fucking thing she has at me, and Han's not even gonna flinch because she's fucking nothing. I grew from this character arc. I know where you're going.
Yeah, so she's just like grabbing like handles off of slot machines and whacking you with them.
Poker, pool cues, just the mannequin. Yeah.
Just slamming tables into him.
Nothing. He's like the Undertaker, just like walking up to her frowning and shaking his head in disappointment as shit breaks off.
You don't honestly think I care about whatever you have to say, do you? All this talk of growth. The individual really doesn't matter anymore. Humanity as a whole is going to end. Though it would be nice if that artificial of yours would continue surviving, yes?
I mean, I'm gonna protect Clyde, of course, and look, humanity sucks, but we can be better. We can learn. I don't disagree with you about how much we suck. I want you to know that. We're trash. So are you, by the way. You're human. I don't think you realize that.
Oh no, I do. You don't think I've forgotten, do you?
Is there a place in your humanist world for you who is human? Just something to think.
No.
Oh, that's wonderful.
None of us are going to make it out of this alive if everything goes according to plan.
Wow. I don't even know how to respond to that. You're all in. That's scary, lady.
Dice Rider, do you want to do anything before we cut back to the mall?
Doesn't feel like we're at the point where I should be taking her out yet.
I like that Rumi brought in her mech. I promise when we come back to Han, he's gonna bring in his mech because he can't deal with somebody that's
You gotta do something different.
I don't fuck around, okay? This guy's really strong and I am not, so I'm gonna drop a robot
I
on him.
want to display precise fighting technique, and I think I'm going to do that by... She's still going through improvised weapons, right? I want to start, like, targeting those with the axe and destroying them.
Oh, nice.
So, like, she breaks off the handle from the slot machine, and then I slice that in half, like, lengthwise. So she can't just, like, both halves are too thin for her to use. She, like, picks up a stack of poker chips to use as ridiculous throwing stars, and I just turn my axe to the side and smash the whole stack.
Nice.
She's starting to get frustrated because she's trying to fight Han. You're there. And so eventually she goes for another slot machine. You ruin that one. She's like, alright, that's enough of that. And she uses the best smoke screen she can possibly make in this situation, kicks the slot machine so hard it just starts spewing coins. How does that work? I don't know. It's fiction. It doesn't have to make sense.
It's the jackpot, obviously.
Yeah, just kicks it, instant jackpot, and uses just a torrent of coins. A very dangerous torrent of coins to get some distance. Back at the mall, everything has would fall silent in the mall if not for the sounds of fighting everywhere around you. But your mech landed, the Osprey's there, and everything seems to be going fine. And then it starts to lift a bit.
Oh no. Oh no! Kit!
Alright, so yeah, Gitsuki, do you want to do something before Topaz Osprey just gets tossed?
Oh, jeez.
Or
I mean,
adds
we need to see it.
a little
We
more
need to
opportunity.
see the robot get thrown, right? To establish the power level.
Yeah, sorry.
It just gets lifted and tossed. It just spins through the mall hallway into the Sears.
Oof.
Barrack, however, has taken some damage. His outfit's torn. There are a bunch of little bloody scratches. The mid-injury that Toku villains will take.
No more sleeves on that coat anymore.
Absolutely not.
Well, it's better than better than we did last time.
So yeah, I think at the start of this, he's going to look at Rumi and just point at her, and he just says, "Not bad." And he'll rush Rumi again, but anyone can take action.
I think I'm gonna. I wish that speak up for someone weaker could also be step in for someone weaker, because that.
I don't see why.
I mean, it can be.
Just make the argument. That's how this game works.
Okay. Yeah, let me try to make the argument. I mean, okay, so it says speak up for someone weaker, but in this case, when someone is kind of cornered, I feel like that would be kind of the same impetus and sort of the same narrative thing if it's stepping in. Stepping in.
I'm obviously distraught because you just threw my mech, and I don't know what to do.
Yeah, he's basically bullying my ally here.
Mm-hmm.
Throwing their shit all over the place. This isn't cool, and I'm gonna step in.
Real quick, Kitsuki's special turn is when you take on solving someone else's problem, they gain a token. I feel like this counts.
Nice.
I would think so too, yeah.
So Rumi gets a token, and while you step up to try and solve that problem, so I think he basically just bull rushes into you and goes a few steps, but then throws you to the side and then sort of focuses on you. So you've got his attention again.
Good.
You can take quite the beating.
I'm just here to fight you. I don't even care how long it takes. This isn't even hurt anymore.
Oh, now that's the kind of thing I like to hear from a warrior.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh man, this is such an enthusiastic fight. You're just... I think it's gonna slowly pan back to Rumi as you two are just slashing at each other, kicking off walls, and just fighting.
Rumi has just peered into one of the stores.
Alright.
Since Kid has given this opportunity, I'm gonna take a heavy turn and ask myself, what is a creative solution to work this out?
Alright.
And I'm going to just, through the course of this fight, construct a weird Rube Goldberg-esque machine that will be the downfall of this dude. I don't know how. Don't ask me, Jeff, the person. I don't know.
Alright,
but it will work. I'm spending a token on this again.
Yep. And I think Ark and Kay also join you on this as you just dart in and out of the stores in the background of this fight.
I think ultimately what it is he has to get pushed in the fountain and electrocutes him or something.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you have to get a big guy out, is you gotta zap him.
I think while they're fighting, at the start of the plan, you've taken a whole lot of plates from tectonic plates and just shattered them all over the ground, and with sharp objects all over the place, you just sort of make a trail that leads that way. So they're avoiding broken porcelain and fighting towards the fountain.
Just entire clothes racks just broken and thrown into the hallway, just whatever we can.
Mm-hmm.
We're trashing this mall.
There's got to be something from sports that could help.
Get a cricket bat.
Yeah, there's just...
No, we get that shit they use to you put in your hands so you get better grip on when you lift weightlifting.
Yeah.
One of those explodes in his face and this powder goes everywhere. A bunch of balls roll off a shelf at him.
Yeah, the main parts of the Rube Goldberg machine come from the sports store.
It's like a bunch of golf balls into the hallway where you start slipping on them, you know.
And he is pushed back into the fountain. Where be toasters in this mall? There's got to be some place that sells toasters.
That'd be Sears. It's the department store.
Ah, yes, of course.
They have all the small electronics.
Yes, they sell the toasters that predict the future. It's not a normal Sears, it's SEERS, fortune-telling stuff.
We predict your toast will be this done. And then it's still wrong about that.
You gotta do the fountain. You gotta get him into that fountain. You gotta help.
I think I could do that. I mean, I
It's
have
one
a
of those
token.
pattern toasters that just, burns your fortune into the toast.
So I've got a token, right? And I have a move that's use your weapon to drive off an opponent, which I'm making them go a certain direction. So I feel like you should be able to use that to, like, fight them, fight them into the water. That's
Don't go into yourself, please. Don't step in the water.
As our battle goes on, like, I land on one side of the fountain, making very sure not to touch the water, and just sort of, like, do the whole, like, look at me, I'm Rider, you should come fight me thing.
He falls for it. He's very excited by this fight.
I mean, I am too. Honestly, this sucks. I'd rather just fight it for the next 5 hours. But I understand that's not the way to do it.
So yeah, he just goes running right into the water. And it's just, one of those scenes where it's a lot of electricity.
Like the lights in the mall flicker and go down because there's so much electricity going into it.
And just a small explosion happens. And then with that, we cut back to the casino.
Alright, so I have a special move as well. When I accept support of somebody weaker, my next heavy move does not cost a token. And I've been letting Dice... No offense, Dice Ranger, but I've been accepting your support this entire fight, and it's clear that...
Well, I was going to point out I have the special term when you accept the support of someone stronger, your next heavy move does not cost.
Oh my god, this fool.
Oh man, what you gotta do like a pose something then? Like what do you do?
Hold on, here's what I want to do. Let me do this first.
Okay.
Alright, D4. Okay. Or 4 on a D6. I yell out to Han, and then I toss Tim my axe.
Oh, yes?
And then roll a second weapon up.
Nice.
For the 4 dots, they start as a square, but then the corners and the edges round out till they're a circle, and it's a chakram.
4. Chakram.
2 chakram. I'm Axel now. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
But do you have...
I just yell, keep her busy. So what special turn, or what heavy turn were you planning to do?
Well, I was gonna summon my mech, but I'm gonna wait and see what you do. Or is that what you're doing?
Well, I don't have a mech to summon. I was gonna use remain absolutely calm under pressure and try and do something precise with my weapon.
Okay, well then I will check them. Adversaries during a brawl, and that it will be the heavy turn that I use for free. So I'm gonna just pick this lady up by her throat and charge with her towards Dice Ranger, and just kind of throw her at him like I'm serving him, like I'm serving a ball to hit. And that's me clearing the way of adversaries during a brawl.
And I think in midair, it's like, well, not bad. And then I think she does the fucking hand motions for Trunks' burning attack, and then Sphere starts erupting from where she was for a second before she continued soaring through.
Right. And I wish I could use this axe. I will remember that I have this axe later, and hopefully I'll use it for something cool, because I love axes.
Well, that was a support. I thought you were...
Yeah. I can use the axe. I can, beat her. I can hit her with the axe.
You just pick her up with the axe?
Yeah, pick her up with the axe, and then fling her towards Dice Ranger.
You gotta channel that Gurmax experience there.
Yep.
You know all about that shit.
I know
Power
that
stance.
Gurmax. You know my dumb shit with the Gurmax that is completely inaccurate and that I get owned with all the time, but I can't stop. It's so big.
So what I want to happen is, I want there to be, like, a huge novelty slot machine that takes up, like, an entire wall of this place.
Yep.
I want Han to pin Priscilla to one of the wheels of it with the axe, and I'm going to throw the chakram at the lever and turn the slot machine on, and she's just going to be run through the machinery of the slot machine as it spins.
Good teamwork.
Ha! Pinning me to the wall. That was your plan, and then I just throw at the lever. And just, oh no.
Yeah, so while that is happening, you see Hammond Roller in the back, and he's just on his phone. And coincidentally, at the mall, Kit and Rumi, you get a message from somebody you don't know. For Rumi, it probably went to junk. For Kitsuki, probably just business as usual. But it has the map that the rest of the team saw earlier. One of the points on the map is circled, and under the picture, you get the message, you're gonna want to go there. Everybody else also gets the message here in the casino, even though he's right here and could just tell you, but he's mostly just snickering at the fight.
I guess it's helpful to have the actual map instead of him just saying where it is, but...
He had a map before, but he still has the map. He didn't give it to you.
Well, now I want to steal it. You should have given it to us.
I think in the machinery, you see Priscilla just, like, roll out of, like, one of the things, so she's sort of in the back.
I think she she comes out the slot and a bunch of coins come out and land on her. That's the funny way to do it. Because it gets a jackpot.
I get a jackpot, she comes tumbling out, and then she explodes. All the coins land on her.
We did it, we won the fight.
So, she actually gets a call, and you hear her voice say, "Hey, Priscilla, saw you do that whole power thing you got, so we're good to move forward, right?" And Priscilla, who just gets fucking dumped out of the machinery, is like, "Things have gone a little south. You mind a bit of support?" "Support how?" "Remove this place, please."
Oh no.
Just here. "You gotcha." We
get out of the fire accident over here, folks.
Yeah, so we cut over to Ram and Zebulon, and Ram's like, "Hey, looks like Priscilla fucked up again. So she asked to get rid of the casino. I'm guessing a whole lot of enemies are there." And Zebulon just sort of shakes his head. He's like, "Mm-hmm." He snaps his fingers, and a big portal opens in the ground, and just a big old horse head just starts to emerge. And once it's far up enough, it opens its mouth and fires a large green laser, which just streaks through town. And, of course, by then, you're all out of the casino. Hammond's just sitting there, laughing it up. Everybody's made it out, except the characters who were here before, and so the casino just suddenly erupts in a green light. And we'll say that's enough of that scene for the time being.
Zebulon sits on a pile of rubble, tinkering with a hell portal as if it were a keyboard. He sighs, sensing Ram passing him by.
"Sounds like Barrack was right. There was a fight to be had. Think they know this is my activation point?"
"Who cares?" Ram tisks at the comment and crosses his arms.
"You're not worried? He's not close enough to transform, you know."
"He doesn't need to. Barrack could knock them over like dominoes if they stood in the right place."
"You say that, but we were pretty certain a thing called Kill Switch would actually kill Dice Rider. But he got up and now he's walking around like the smuggest zombie you ever saw."
Ram turns to shout at half his grievances towards the bathroom.
"I don't like your tone," Louis shouts from within. "My craft work is perfect. They must have had some cheap trick at the ready."
"Yeah!" shouts a small felt-like pen trigger with legs and a face. It hops onto Ram's shoulder.
"Killing the kill switch never fails a job. I have bloodlust like you wouldn't believe. Miss Louise made me the greatest killing machine ever."
"Leave it," Zebulon sighs. "Barrack and Priscilla will both survive no matter what they run into." Even though Hammond's luck landed him right on top of Priscilla's activation point, she has activated it. Now that north and south are done, you can activate our west points. I'll handle the rest.
"You sound so excited."
Ram rolls his eyes, brushing Killy off his shoulder. Zebulon pauses. "Ram, have you ever wondered what our goal looks like?"
"I mean, it looks like smart robot animals?"
"That's an oversimplification, is it not? Do we know what an evolved artificial looks like? Everything is going to plan, yes, but that plan ends with assumption. Assumption that evolved artificials will truly be superior to humanity. That once they devour what once was, that they can do better. That they will not sin as man has. And what of us? I feel the same as I did before finishing the Pale Horse. But is this my drive, or that of our creation? And if we are our old selves, will we feel it when they dissolve? Ram blinks in response. This existential stuff ain't exactly my wheelhouse, you know? But what about you? You giving up or something? Zebulon shakes his head. No. I have no clue what our victory will entail exactly. Yet I still have 2 tangible goals. I will see the activation of the apocalypse through, and I will ensure that our opponents are defeated. The Rangers and Riders are the only obstacles that stand in the way of the Artificial's evolution. They will die.
Currently, a giant horse is rising from the ground, and Ram's just sort of hanging out, just sitting on some boxes, letting his legs dangle, when Kitsuki and Rumi enter. And also Kay, but yeah, that's an NPC, we don't worry about them. Oh, you're here! How's it going?
I guess it's not. It's not going.
Ain't that just life?
Are you gonna do like a shtick? Because I just had to give up on the greatest fight I'm ever gonna have. So whatever you do, it's gonna be really depressing.
Just looks at you for a moment. Oh no, there's 2 of them.
I'm so happy that you can count. I was worried that you wouldn't be able to. It was putting everything into perspective for me.
No, I'm at 2 barracks, cause there's 3 of you right now. And he points to you, Rumi, and Kay in the back. I was hoping there wouldn't be anybody as battle horny as Barrack, but what are you gonna do? Some people just really like fighting.
I don't know how to reply to that. I'm going to fight you now. If
cool.
it's okay. Just making sure.
Oh, you're asking my permission. Real quick. Hey, Zebulon, activate your power, please. And after a second, you hear
Plague.
And he transforms. Well now, let's have some fun with this, yes?
No.
And
No.
Alright, so last time he managed to take out Rumi, so I think he's just gonna go for Rumi again. He's gonna take out his bow and start firing.
Alright, this time I get behind something instead of trying to block all the bolts with my spear.
Yeah, so you're in town, so like you just hide behind the corner. While he's
I'm behind like a little.
Please hide behind the Long Cod's mascot. Just hide behind the Long Cod.
Okay, I do that. The fish is getting wrecked.
Alright, so
I was really worried that the reveal was going to be that killing Ward just makes 2 of them now. You're going to like defeat him by some convoluted, non-violent way, but good.
You actually have to play a game of chess.
Oh great!
You actually have to beat me.
He's probably not actually dead, but.
All right, so I would say it's your turn.
Yeah, I am getting hit by suppressive fire right now.
Yep, suppressive fire. Also, you're back at 0 tokens.
I think I'm going to do as a regular turn, take action leaving yourself vulnerable to sort of like eat myself across. Maybe if we're lucky, they'll move, like fire will move to me, but if we're not, then I'm in a better position to jump this fool.
Yeah, so I do think he starts to focus fire on Kit.
I think it's like he's like trailing behind her as she like flips and shit. So it's like
just arrows creating so much dust in the air as they hit, trailing behind Kitsuki.
I'm gonna turn to Rochambeau Ranger and ask her like, you know, I feel like I messed up something the last time I fought this guy.
Well, you didn't have the advantage. You were in a tiny room, your whole thing seems to be flying, and you just sort of went up against a guy firing rapidly at you. Like, his whole thing is that, like, his seems to be that his bones are real fucked up, so he can just fire real quick.
A Gatling gun, but a bow. All right, Rumi has an idea. So that's how I'm doing this round because I'm assessing my best strategy by looking at my past mistakes.
All right, so Kitsuki, what do you want to do now? This guy's still focusing fire on you.
I feel like I'm gonna need a heavy turn here. So
you are actually out of tokens.
Yeah, so I'm gonna have to get an actual token. So
I see. Get heavy turned. I get you.
Yeah, Kitsuki has run into this corner here, and I think that she has run out of things to run. She's gonna run out of space to run. I don't know how to say that in a way that's not terrible. So I think she's going to fail to react and suffer some consequences, unfortunately.
He is going to continue firing at you. You get behind cover. You're trying to look for an opportunity when suddenly you hear
War.
And when you turn around, War is here, and he just smacks you with a sword. Kitsuki gets owned, and War is now armored as he enters the scene.
Is he smoking? Is it like smoke coming off his body because he got electrocuted so much?
Yep, even with the armor on, he just got burnt real bad. But hey, it makes him more intimidating, so it actually works in his favor. You made him more powerful, you fools!
I don't think that's true, actually.
I think at this point, Han and Dice Ranger run in.
I have an idea for what to do, but if you want to go first, Loka, I'm cool with that.
And Midoriya's also there, probably.
Yep. She's doing some fighting. All the NPCs are fighting sometimes, but yeah, we don't care about their action as much.
She was in that contract dispute with the franchise at the time, so they only show her in the outfit because she's not actually her, it's someone else.
Only the suit actor.
Yep.
Can't believe Midori broke her leg in a motorcycle accident.
Well, let's see. I want to do a light turn of become demoralized by a setback because I predict that somebody I thought we had taken care of is about to come back.
Hey, how did you know? Yeah, you do hear.
Kamen.
And there's a fucking sword slamming into one side and then a wrecking ball just into another as she leaps in, now armored. Alright.
My turn is going to be, at this point, I believe that the COD that Rumi is hiding behind is just utterly destroyed. That COD is completely ruined by arrows. Like, it is terrible cover at this point, and arrows are getting through the COD and starting to get close to hitting Rumi. And so I'm going to take the brunt of somebody else's, burden, I believe is what it's called. Take the brunt of somebody else's burden, a light turn, and I'm gonna slide in front and shield Rumi with my body and get hit by all these arrows so Rumi can do something else while she has full cover, since she has realized where she fucked up and can do something important. So I will get a token for taking the brunt of somebody else's burden and also get hit by just so many arrows.
Since Kitsuki's now once again distracted by war, Plague has turned his attention back to Rumi, continues firing. The COD is just really thin, it's starting to just fall over because the middle section of it is just absolutely wrecked. And then I guess Han just fucking stands in front of it.
Yeah. I have an idea. I have an idea for this that's thematically appropriate.
All
I
right.
think I get behind Han and he just starts walking towards Famine. Because he's taking the brunt of it and just like soaking all these arrows. And then I am going to remain dependent on the pressure as we are being harried and just thrust past him with my spear into Famine.
This is a nice Macedonian phalanx that we're doing here, where I'm the shield and you're the spear.
I imagine like you taking like the slow, like difficult steps forward as you're getting hit.
Yeah.
And it just looms over Famine as he shoots, and then or she shoots, and then I past you the spear.
You just thrust into him, and you know it's Plague. He's pretty skinny.
Oh, Plague.
As we
I
established.
think I get the bow. Famine, whatever one is. I get the bow. That's the important thing. I think.
You jab him, and he just takes a whole lot of steps back. He's like, nope, don't like that one. Whew. Okay, well. That's not great. Hey guys, could you cover me real quick? I got an important job to do.
No, I thought I could spirit him.
Don't worry, if I die, I've got a tape recorder.
So yeah, he's going to back off. War and famine get in the way, but since they're covering plague now, some of the heat is taken from the rest of the team. So hey, it sounds like you're all together and facing a problem, aren't you?
Yeah, and when we do, we get a token. When the squad confronts danger to follow their principles, every color present gets a token, so we now all get a token.
So the pressure's off me now, right?
Yep.
Okay. Who looks the most like they're having the worst time right now? Actually, wait. War's still up, right?
Oh yeah, he's back and he's standing right there. He's got a sword.
I have unfinished business with War.
Mm-hmm.
Look.
Yeah, we got just
in the grim darkness of Henshin, there was only War. I'm gonna, as a heavy turn, face down danger without hesitation. Like, go straight for War, ignoring everything else. Even if he wanted to fight someone else, he's not going to be able to, because he's all eyes on me.
Mm-hmm.
Also, hopefully, ideally, making sure that he's nowhere near his comrades, so he can't help them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you're driving him back, and you're actually getting more hits in than you were earlier, probably because he exploded, so you're a little more level now. And while you drive him back, Priscilla starts slamming her wrecking ball against the walls, and just a whole lot of debris goes flying. And some of her shots are getting dangerously close to you all. What do you do?
This seems like another time to remain absolutely calm under pressure and deal with the wrecking ball before it becomes more of a problem.
4. Chakram.
Chakrams are back.
Will you ever get a 6?
I'm going to, like, use one of the chakrams to block the wrecking ball and kind of hold it in place, and it's still attached to something, right? It has a wire or a chain.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, I'm gonna cut that chain with the other one.
She's still gonna use the chain, but yeah, you've...
God damn it.
The damage dealer, though. It's no longer a large iron ball at the end of that.
One step at a time.
Alright, so I think by now, you actually notice that a lot of the, like, robo-pets are, like, spreading wires throughout the store. One, like, snakes into the scene. They're just, like, eating away at various machines in here, as well as, like, the armor of the dog catchers.
Well, that's probably not good.
As that happens, you then see Plague do... God, do I want to tonally clash? Seems like something he'd do, because he's a shitlord. Plague dabs, and then a sphere erupts from him.
Fucker.
However, this one's a bit different. It doesn't seem to affect, like, the artificial armors themselves. However, even you start to feel a bit of a sniffle. You also might be getting a bit of a sore throat. The artificials are actually doing even better, though, but the humans underneath are starting to get ill.
Alright.
Plague shouts.
Not really doing great. Hey, Zebulon, you almost ready with a pale horse?
And you shift over to Zebulon, and he's standing in front of a big old horse. Plague just runs into the mech. I think Famine's probably having a bit of a harder time. War really doesn't want to leave. He's still fighting Katsuki. But I think eventually they just get him to also go to the mech. And they also drag Luis with them as they leap in. Zebulon, before he enters, goes, "You've been formidable, but unfortunately I can't let you interfere. We still have some time left before I can end everything else, so I'm sure you're going to try something, aren't you?" And then he gets in. So now there's just a big old horse mech.
Time for us to summon our mechs and combine.
Yeah.
And I guess Dice they can just kind of climb in.
I am going to summon my motorcycle, which is my mech equivalent, and I will figure out what to do with it at some point.
The bigger red dog. Ruby Wolf. Speed and sound pale in comparison. Topaz Osprey. Dagger-like claws shred their prey. Emerald Martin. Beware,
a violent beatdown approaches. Obsidian Boar. The apex of apexes, Chimera has been formed.
The Chimera and the Pale Horse begin to fight. At first, the two are, fairly evenly matched. But then, Zebulon says, I'd heard they could do this.
What are we gonna do, boss?
Let's take care of this. And then he transforms.
Death.
And as he leaves, Reese is like, oh, by the way, guys, you should all buckle up. And Ram's like,
What? Why do you care?
She's just like, it's for safety reasons. And so everybody just rolls their eyes and just does so.
And for standards reasons, they won't let us show this on TV if we don't buckle up.
So, in the Chimera's cockpit, an alert appears on your screen, and you see that damage is being done to the side of the ship from something that you can't quite get at because it's too small a target. Even when you try to attack it, you keep missing.
That's not
seems
great.
like the perfect opportunity for the guest star Kamen writers to stay relevant to the movie.
You just drive up the Chimera's tail on his back. Something super sweet ass moves.
So yeah, I'm driving along, not alongside, on top of the mech, just spearing. Is it mooks that are attacking, or what is it?
You just see one dude. It's just Death who's attacking the side of the ship.
Alright, well, I'm chasing him down, trying to poke him with my spear.
From the hell portal behind him, you just see a scythe emerge, and he grabs it and just immediately clashes with your spear.
That sucks. I guess the fight just keeps going. Like, I don't know what I should do.
Do you want to take a turn?
Okay, I do have an idea for. I know what I want to do with like how to combine my bike with the mech. I'm going to spend a token to devise the proper tool for the job. I am going to. My spear is broken, so I'm going to drive at Death. He's going to get out of the way. I'm going to miss him, and then I'm going to ride up the tail. And then on the very end of the tail, I'm going to connect the chassis of my motorcycle, and then the two tires are going to fly off, but stay connected by wires and become dice flails.
Nice.
And then the tail is just going to swing down and hit Death.
That slams into him. So I think with that, you drive him back a bit. But then the Pale Horse basically just rams into the Chimera, causing it to shake.
No.
Are we losing any stability?
Yeah, the mech's legs are shaking a bit. Cockpit's probably doing the Sparky thing.
We're doing the Star Trek.
I'm not so sure how to counter this when.
I mean, it's a horse. We're a predator. Just bite it.
Yeah, I guess. So there's probably a door that I can open up and get up onto the back of the line. So I'll pop up there because me and Dice Ranger are bros now, I guess, and I'm gonna go over and is Death taken care of, or even after getting hit by the tail, Death's still fucking here? All right, so what is going on now once Han peeks up and crawls out here? Get a lay of the land.
Dice Rider is, still attacking Death, but Death, while he hasn't gotten, any big blows in, he has been digging the scythe into the Chimera.
Oh, rude.
He's trying to fight Dice Rider off, but also trying to damage the mech.
I have an idea on how to take out Death if you want to work on the horse.
Okay, yeah, I'll go take care of the horse. So I'm going to, basically run across to the nose of the line and jump off the lion's nose and onto the horse's mane, and then that song from fucking Shadow of the Colossus will start playing. It's the horse's mane. And there's even the grab meter, a big homage to Shadow of the Colossus shows in the side of the screen as Han climbs up the horse's mane and slides down its neck to where the neck and body meet, and there's probably a door there. And Han's gonna start trying to force open that door because he's just gonna jump inside this fucking horse and start beating the people up in the cockpit.
How do you like it?
Yeah.
So is that a heavy turn?
God, what do I have a? This is a heavy turn. Hold on. No, you know what? I think unfortunately think this is a regular turn. I'm displaying a reckless fighting technique here.
Yeah, I don't think you're successfully going to get into the pale horse.
This isn't clear the way of adversary during your brawl.
I mean, not yet. It will be once I get into the cockpit and start throwing people around.
Maybe a light turn would be better in this case then.
Okay,
Anything you can do to make this a light turn? You are going off alone and putting yourself in danger by getting on this horse.
But that's not a light turn. The best, interfere with a reliable course of action, maybe? Nothing else really counts. I can think of.
This isn't overexerting yourself?
I don't have an overexert yourself on my light turn. I have taken the brunt of someone else's burden. I have failed to react and overexert. Oh, I guess, but how am I failing to react? This is very reactive.
I think interfere with a reliable course of action makes the most sense at the moment because, one person's focusing on fighting death and the others are, in the Chimera fighting the pale horse. You're the only one who's doing this, so nobody else is, helping you out with this plan. You're just splitting off out of nowhere.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I think this is I think what everybody else is doing is a pretty reliable course of action, so I just don't think this could count as that, but sure, I'll take it.
I mean, it could be a reliable course of action, it's just the problem is, it isn't yet.
Alright, I have a plan to take out Death.
Alright.
So, all the other rangers out there have their vehicle except Dice Ranger, who just combined it with our mech. I am going to slam a button on the Chimera. It's going to start to roll over. And my plan is to catch Death underneath the Chimera and then smash the button on the flight, the jets on the wings, because it can't flap when they have to be jets on it. So it just starts sliding along the ground upside down, grinding him into the ground.
Alright, what turn is this?
I am once more addressing an immediate problem with level head. Actually, I think this is a creative solution, to be honest. So I imagine this, the Chimera slowly rolls over, the Rangers drive to stay on the right side of it. Death isn't fast enough, and it just rolls right onto him, and it goes. And then we leave a big divot in the city.
Alright.
We also slide underneath the legs of the horse as it happens, upside down. So way to attack. That's my plan.
Alright, so, yeah, at the moment, Death's out of the picture, but I think the horse is actually going to reveal an excellent wrestling move, and it's just going to sort of clamp its legs around the Chimera as it's under there, and start doing a suplex.
Han has to hang on the grip leader's back.
No.
And as you're up in the air, you then see a portal appear, and just Death leaps from it, very torn up clothes, damaged scythe, but he just dive tackles into, I guess, Kitsuki. She's in the leader spot. Death's just gonna punch her.
Why did we even get the mechs out if we're just going to keep fighting like this?
Because we have to have, it's a threat. We don't have fought inside the cockpit of the mech before.
We have the budget to use the mechs as a set piece to fight on top of, and we're gonna do it because it's cool.
Yeah, I'm not criticizing anyone. I just think it's funny that this is the first time we've gotten the mechs out. And they're not actually that important in the fight. So,
Kitsuki, you're being menaced.
We're all upside down also. The cockpit's upside down now.
Horse had a plan.
The mech is suplexing your mech, and then their leader decided, you know what, that's not enough. I need to make absolute sure.
I think I probably need to, the person immediately attacking me, so he's gonna go. I don't have any things right now, and I guess that would be...
You have one token, actually. But okay. You can light turn if you'd like.
There are a lot of buttons you could be stepping on while you're fighting this guy, is all I'm saying, in this cockpit. If you need to earn some tokens.
I'm gonna do a heavy turn, and I'm gonna do specifically use your weapon drop off of an opponent. I think it's literally just hit the release for the things as he comes onto the bridge, just absolutely like cross-slash him off the bridge, like immediately off the bridge, out of the like whatever hole he's come through. It's like stay the hell off, get the hell off of my bridge. Right back in the chair, like clinging to it, trying to push buttons. Right,
eat him right through the front window.
Just fucking kick him out. Out of here, fucko.
Alright, so I think for the time being, he's out of your mech. Meanwhile, within the Pale Horse's bridge, Luis sits up and is like, alright, well, I'm done. And Ram's just like,
Rags, what do you think you're doing?
She's just like, you know what? I'm leaving. It was a nice day. Everyone was at the park having a good time. I figured, hey, great time to start doing the whole villain thing. I just happened to get these powers out of nowhere. Seemed like everything was going well, but no, apparently everyone wants to be a villain now. So you know what? I'm done. Fine, I get it. Switchy, you're coming with me. And then the little switch from the lab gets out of their collective hands and is like, peace! And when Ram tries to get out of his seat, what the heck is going on? And Luis is just like, I made the seatbelt! And she flips him off as she leaves.
So Luis opens the door and leaves, and like what happens is she looks out and like Han is pulling at the door, and then suddenly the door opens and Luis steps out and Han looks at her and she looks at him and they kind of make eye contact.
We never speak of this again.
And then Han just lets her go.
Oof.
And as she disappears from view, suddenly, Death gets pushed out of the window of the Chimera, and he's the kind of villain who just sort of floats, so he ends up brushing past you.
Alright, I'm gonna wrap my arm around his neck in a headlock, and then I'm gonna jump into dragging this guy with me. And I'm going to basically throw him at everybody else inside the horse as a weapon, and start grabbing people inside the cockpit of the horse, and smashing them into consoles, and just laying waste to these losers. This is going to be clearing the way of adversaries during a brawl. This is me using a token.
Alright, so...
gotta maximize collateral damage.
Yeah. Whatever the horse was doing, it's doing completely chaotic, erratic stuff now, because Han is slamming people into consoles, and... yeah.
So, at the moment, I think it had also had the Chimera in a headlock, and so now it's just sort of dragging the Chimera around, but it's not in control of its actions. And while you're doing that, there's a flash of purple. And inside the cockpit, everybody's struggling with the controls because now the Pale Horse is kind of going berserk and dragging along with it. But then you see the owl enter the bridge. Midori's just like, oh, come on, your timing could be better. And the owl just says,
you lot have the unfortunate problem of having trouble follow you wherever you go. However, for once, it would seem that there's a bigger issue here.
They sit down at the console where Han's supposed to be.
Since you've been thrown around like a wrecking ball, I will help out here.
Now the Pale Horse is just completely out of control, and now the Chimera is fully piloted again, so it's able to wrestle itself free. If you don't mind, Han, I guess... You already have so many tokens, but do you want another one? Because I could light turn this. Actually, I don't know if there's specific light turns that are just...
I'm okay with one of these losers getting away from Han while Han is distracted, smashing Warface into a console and laughing at him. So yeah, if Plague or any of the other ones want to slip out, like run away onto the top, out and then go after Dice Ranger, I'm okay with that. I don't need any tokens or anything for that.
I was asking if you wanted to be thrown out because, like, Death will eventually, like, get you out of the mech, but will also come out with you.
I mean, okay. Ah, shit. I mean, yeah, I'm fine with that. It's weird, but sure. I'll take it.
So yeah, he uses his hell portal and just, like, sweeps you up with it while you're just bullying War.
Yeah.
And he leaps out of the mech and just fires you at the Chimera and then charges at it. So now we're the Chimera again.
Alright. Unfortunately, the only heavy turn that I could probably use is remain absolutely calm under pressure again. But that's what I want to do. I want to be able to do a rider kick while there is a gigantic mech fight happening directly behind me. So because of like how we're situated, what I want to happen is like the human characters are fighting like either on the ground or just in the air, just above the ground, while the giant mechs are fighting above them. So like when Death is thrown out of the mech and tries to run away, I guess I'm going to... I wouldn't just pursue him with the rider kick. I wouldn't just jump off of the Chimera and then rider kick towards him.
Yeah.
I think...
While in the background, the Chimera also leaps into the air, ready to do its own rider kick.
Yeah.
Okay, I got it. So I think at the moment he throws Han to the Chimera, and then he's probably going back to the side of the Chimera to try to attack it again. And while he's doing that, you rider kick him. And
hold on, I haven't thought of something for this, but I'll figure out what it means. 3 is my gun weapon. The 3 dots come out in a straight line, then I grab them and bend them at a 90-degree angle, and the dice just announces
3 gun.
Ah, shit, he's got a gun.
So I jump in the air, I power up the gun, and then I point it behind me and fire and use Newton's third law to propel myself even faster.
Nice. You should like keep accelerating.
Yep, that's definitely how it works.
God, yeah, you were just fucking rapid kicking him with a rider kick, and meanwhile, the Chimera is probably like bounced off into the air, spun around, and just fucking leaps into the Pale Horse. Yeah, Death is just knocked so far away alongside the Pale Horse. He once again stands on like the hell portal. It also acts as a platform. Just a whole lot of skeletal hands are just emerging, keeping him up. Just like,
this isn't over yet. Don't forget, we can still kill you easily.
And then he just sort of like leaps back to the Pale Horse. Inside the Pale Horse, Death bursts in, looks around, he's like,
alright, we need the kill switch, now. Where did that woman go? Yeah, bad news. Rags kinda booked it.
Fine, we need the necrotic beam then, now! And so, the Pale Horse from the other side of town will begin charging a beam. And so, final attack from the Chimera. What you gonna do?
We gotta have a beam struggle.
Yeah, it's Kid.
Yeah, there has to be like a beam versus beam.
You gotta bring us home here.
Han enters the bridge, and everybody looks over to his seats, and Owl's just mysteriously gone.
Where did he go?
It doesn't matter. Fire the laser!
Han will slide into his seat, and he'll activate the laser on his end.
So yeah, they fire their necrotic beam, so just... I guess I've always envisioned the Chimera's beam as like blue, right? Blue, white, that sort of thing. So yeah, it's just blue laser versus green laser. They're struggling back and forth.
You don't have enough power!
We're all meshing in the cockpit.
Dice Rider, how do you help this beam struggle?
So they power it up by shoving their weapons into the cockpit, right?
Yep.
So I'm going to make my way into the cockpit and just shove 6 of my dice into the control panels.
I think Coin runs in, flips the coin, and like does the slam onto it with his palm, and then slides his hand forward and just creates a little beam. Rochambeau just does rock, paper, and scissors all at once, jams that in there as well.
With her 3 hands.
They're like little floaty weapons or whatever. I don't know. I haven't thought at length about these powers.
Sorry, I just like the idea of like there being 3 hands, but it's so quick that most people don't notice it.
Rock, paper, scissors. Wait, what?
Wait, how?
And so the beam is enlarged, and it just starts pushing back against the green beam until it just hits the Pale Horse and pushes through it. And it's just the like that one effect where like beam happens, and then the thing inside the beam just turns to lines and just sort of evaporates as it's blown away.
Like so.
Yep. And so the dust settles. And
there's like 4 horse legs left that fall over.
Yeah, the 4 horse legs on the scene. You can see scuff marks, and they're just giant horse mech pieces all over a long trail through town, and they just start crumbling to dust.
Did we just destroy all those humanimals? Oh my god, no, that's not it.
Artificial?
Artificial?
Nope. In fact, well, to be fair, you probably did destroy the horse. Who knows? But around town, the effects of all of the Horsemen's abilities starts to disappear. All the wires retract, and the armors disappear, and the Robopets return to normal, and everyone's just sort of out of it. Like, a few people are awake, but they're super groggy. They won't remember, like, the important bits of it. It's fine. Everybody collapsed for a day.
There's no lasting effects this movie, too, in case people don't get to see it.
If you are attached to your artificial for more than 4 hours, please contact your physician immediately.
Oh my god.
I think Dice Rider is going to untransform and just, like, fall backwards.
Yeah, everybody is super battle damaged by this point.
The scene cuts to the rubble of Hammond's casino. For a moment, everything is still. But then, a large pile of debris explodes outward. Within lies a damaged, but survivable, bar room. Hammond stands at the end of the room, Karen not far behind him. The remaining patrons of the casino remain stuffed behind the counter, still too afraid to move. What are you laughing about? Karen pinches the bridge of her nose.
Come on, Karen! Isn't the raw nerve of those guys just hilarious? Trying to blow us to smithereens, only to be the ones blown up instead! The irony is simply fantastic!
Karen just shakes her head.
We're not dead, Karen, so why not laugh in the face of circumstance?
Because I'm thinking of the other buildings that do not have protective shields. It's going to cost a fortune to repair them, and just who's going to fill the vacancies? The revenue is going to drop for several blocks.
Well, if it's money you're worried about, I've got a premium insurance payout I'll be collecting soon. And since the rogue elements are taken care of, I don't even need to worry about making this branch look pretty.
Hammond's laughter bellows through the night, one of many sources of Karen's headache as she gets to work figuring out damages. The 4 horsemen lie dwarfed by the wreckage of the Pale Horse. Barrack is the only one of the 4 who can stand, but even he is struggling to do so. Priscilla sits against a chunk of metal trying to form a brace with whatever junk she can gather. Ram drags himself with his right arm, the only limb that is not obviously broken. Zebulon merely sits to the side, watching their horse artificial stagger about as though drunk. Suddenly, a spear is launched into the horse, and it sparks a moment before slumping over. The owl withdraws their spear as they approach the 4 horsemen.
I've had enough of your rampant destruction,
they say plainly.
So you would defy us, after losing so quickly?
Barrack is the first to respond, puffing himself up only to make his bleeding worse. Why should we care about what's destroyed? Humanity should be overwritten so the artificials can flourish, Priscilla shouts.
You lot are nothing but a threat to the entire world. I'm here to ensure that threat is wiped out.
Barrack backs off.
You can't kill us! We're powerful!
We're righteous, Priscilla growls. We had nothing to do with this, Ram lies unconvincingly. We failed. Zebulon closes his eye. The scene fades to black as the sound of wind rushing aside the thrusts of a spear can be heard.
And so, we cut to a scene at sunset for everybody's final goodbyes. Or sunrise, rather. So, Takara just walks to Clay's side and is like, well, that was harrowing.
I don't want to talk about it. Messing with my bike I look like I'm programming something into it.
Next time we come to Lafayette, we'll just pretend this didn't happen, and it'll just be for vacation. We'll go to all of the beautiful... What do you have here? You had a park. It was a nice park, I think.
They got corn.
We have the park, and we have the mall.
We have the fair as well. The theme park.
The good old winter fair.
Also,
That wasn't canon.
Also, we got the swan boats. We got swan boats.
Oh yeah, the ones you have your lit.
Yeah, okay, cool.
There's the county fair where there's all sorts of gross, disgusting food.
I put my key into my bike and then turn it, and then it drives off without me. I'm getting a plane back. I'm not driving my motorcycle all the way back to Nevada. For some reason, I feel like it would be even longer now. At first, it felt like I was just driving from Nevada to California, but now it feels like I'd be driving from Indiana.
Nah, it's Lafayette, California.
God damn it.
In the Meiji district. Because this is California, fuck you.
I want to do like Steven Universe style, where you just make enough insane comments about the geography that people just go, what the fuck happened?
Yep. It's great. It's the great part about insisting that it's both Power Rangers and Sentai at the same time.
Yep, except that one time they just went to Korea in the show.
Yeah, Korea's legit.
Recently, it was good.
Anyways, I mean, I don't think I have anything meaningful or impactful to say. I think I'm just gonna go home.
Kay, just rest your hand on your shoulder. You never do.
Bye, Dice Rider. May luck always be with you.
Oh, nice one.
Thank you.
Man, that sounds like you stole that from Star Wars.
Dang. It's a good line. Kitsuki, and
It's a good one.
you didn't think of it first.
Honestly, yeah, it's true.
And Dory just stretch it. Well, I just spent the day fighting a whole lot of guys who thought Skynet was the coolest character in Terminator. I'm gonna go to bed.
Yeah, we did it. We averted the apocalypse or something. Let's all go get milkshakes.
I have to go have a deep kind of crisis because all these bad guys keep talking about how we're oppressing the artificials and it's bothering me. I need to do some self-analysis. I'll see y'all later.
See?
And that's how the movie ends.
That's the credits is just following Han as he walks, like sadly through the streets of the city alone. The weird ending.
Cha-cha-cha.
Oh my god, it's finally done. I'm finally done. I just finished editing this. Holy shit. I'm done. I'm done. Anyway, in case you look at the previous episode's release date, which is September 27th, 2020, and then you look at this release date, yes, this one took a while. Mainly due to a lack of motivation and also lack of ease of editing this. It was 2 sessions, and also the audio quality's not the best, and I have a weird mental block about me DMing and then editing that. I don't know, I just don't feel motivated about editing that. And again, sound, oh god, the sound. Jenner, if you're listening to this, please, I don't want to hear you joke about how it's a good thing if you're super quiet. No, it's not. A, because you're good, actually, and B, Jesus Christ, how you were so quiet. Though I think that was Jeff's fault. I think he was the one who recorded this one. I think this was on his end. I don't know. It's been so long. It's been so long since we played this one, you guys. It's been so long. And I just looked over at Audacity, and it's been a minute and a half. I am otherwise going to make this very quick. Let's just get to the music credits. As always, of course, the main theme is I Won't Fall Apart by Jagger from Initial D. From the Sonic Rush soundtrack, we have A New Day, Get Edgy, Villanova, the unnecessarily sexy version, What You Need, and Raising Me Up, all by Hideki Naganuma. From the Sonic Adventure 2 soundtrack, we have Rhythmic Passage, Strategy, The Dreamy Stage, That's the Way I Like It, Madness, Masters of the Desert, and Keys the Ruin. I swear that is actually what the song's called, and all of those are by Jun Suno, and then Flying the Freedom by Tabitha Fair. From the Sonic Adventure soundtrack, we have It Doesn't Matter by Tony Harnell, Blue Star, Run Through the Speed Highway, and Perfect Chaos Revival by Jun Suno. From the Jet Set Radio soundtrack, we've got Humming the Bassline, Like It Like This Like That, Let Mom Sleep, and Grace and Glory by Hideki Naganuma, Funky Radio by BB Wrights, Magical Girl by Guitar Veda, Upset Attack and Yappy Feet by Diavid Soul, and OK House by Idle Taxi. From the Jet Set Radio Future soundtrack, we've got Oldies But Happies, Shape to Future, Fly Like a Butterfly, and Funky Dealer by Hideki Naganuma, and I'm Not a Model by Russell Simmons. From Ollie King, we've got Technopathetic, Poppin' Disco 80s Mix by Hideki Naganuma. And from Sonic Riders, Theme of Sand Ruins by Kenichi Tokoi. Okay, that's music credits. The next episode probably won't take more than a year to come out. I have no estimate because I don't know if I'm going to power through the next one like I did the tail end of this one. Like the last hour or so, hour plus. It's a weird segmented blur where I just kept getting like the drive to do big chunks of it and then I'd leave off for a bit. So yeah, it took a while. Hopefully the next one won't take this long. It probably won't. I cannot imagine not having the motivation to do the next one. Like, my LPs are the main focus, but like the next PetRanger isn't gonna be 2 fucking 2-hour sessions. Yeah. I'm making this longer, but and of course, before I go, you can always catch us live on twitch.tv/Batalisk on Wednesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Oddly enough, we still are streaming Lancer. That was true the last time I did an episode, and it's still true somehow. Anyway, that's 5.5 minutes. Bye. Have fun with the stinger, and then free yourself if you actually watched this.
It's playing a mashup of Mad World and Dust in the Wind.
Club remix.
Well, that's just the original mix of Mad World.